Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took a red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Late Night Culture Show. I am glad to be here. I've got a great panel of guests. We got more folks on the way. We got stories we're going to cover. We got things we're going to talk about. And we have bald representation this evening. You've got it. They dominate this stream. We've got potentially more balds joining us here later. Maybe we'll get some Latino representation as well. But let's start first with the man immediately next to me, Jacob from Society Reviews. He also writes for Bounding Into Comics. He does a lot of things. He watches more movies than you do. How's it going, Jacob?
It's going pretty well. And yeah, I feel like even though I've watched maybe about 15 new releases so far this year, it feels low for me for some weird reason. Maybe that's just the way things are going. I guess we'll see if it picks up in the next couple of weeks.
I hope it does. I feel like the doldrums of January and February are a real thing when it comes to that. So I think we'll pick it up. Plus, we got a lot of stuff coming out. John Wick's coming out. We're talking about Creed. There's a lot of stuff coming out we can cover, whether it's fair, whether it's foul. That's what we do here on the YouTube, at least in this sphere. And speaking of which, next to Jacob, we have the amazing stylings of one Jason from Sci-Fi For Me TV. He runs, everything. He's on every platform. He has his own website, including a review we're going to talk about tonight. How's it going there, Mr. Jason Hunt?
Hello. I'm actually doing pretty good considering that the dog tried to kill me yesterday.
Oh, okay. Now, wow. Why?
So we're bringing supplies into the compound. Mrs. Boss went to the store, and I'm helping her unload the car. And I'm turning around, and the dog gets underfoot.
Husbandly duties, right? Yeah.
Trips me. The miniature pincher does. Junior office dog trips me. and I go sprawling onto the floor right at the top of the stairs, and barely catch myself before I go all the way down the stairs. So we've had to reset the days without incident count.
Without an injury. I love that.
We were over 700. Usually this count is because of something that happens to Mindy, because we end up in the ER, and this time it's my fault.
Well, at least OSHA is going to be happy.
Jason, we're expecting a report from the Health and Safety Committee.
Yeah.
Shortly.
Oh wait, no. I don't. How do I get all the balds in the same row? I don't know if I can do that. Anyway,
I just don't like being in between two white men. So
okay.
But are you bald?
Paulie, neither do I.
Much
neither do I.
Okay.
Much
all right,
better.
wait. Okay, so wait.
I was very threatened in that row.
Paulie's joined us, and he's particular about his position, from what I'm to understand.
Very threatened.
How's it going tonight, my friend?
It's going good. I'm just Jason look he's gonna kill somebody right there. CC, I was just he scares the fuck out of me in the one before on Midnight's Edge. Doesn't say anything, and then just kind of like, send you creepy little private messages in the back.
So you're getting those serial killery vibes.
Yeah, and then there's this Scottish just psychopath right beneath me. So I'm just like, and then you got Brahma Bull. Oh man,
what's up, Paulie?
It's like let's start the MAGA rally right now, right?
Oh my,
damn straight.
Oh boy, listen to that. Well, anyway,
don't make me get my hat, Paulie.
Paulie has been
man. Be proud.
Paulie's been doing some amazing things on his channel. It's really going to town. So is Midnight's Edge, Espanol. Paulie's got unique interviews you're not going to find anywhere else. He does a lot of great coverage. He has some unique insight into the industry. Plus, he hangs out with cool people like Chris Gore and a few others. And I would be there too, but I would have to drive 6 hours just to hang out with all these guys. But and he does have a decent mustache. Channel Surf still probably surpasses you in the mustache game, but you guys are close now. You're getting closer.
Who?
Getting closer.
Channel Surf.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't give a shit.
Wow, dude. Wow. All right. Well, okay.
All I know is I like
Brothers.
Society Reviews. He's a good dude. I don't agree with half the shit he says, but he's all right.
Hey, all right.
Let's start it. Come on, let's go.
Well, I'm trying to introduce the 70s rock fan. He's right below you. I can introduce him. He's a Canadian Scotsman.
One of us, he said he'd fuck a sheep. No.
Hey, someone said call La Migra in the chat. Yeah, I was born in fucking Arizona, man. So go to.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, good place to live.
No, I was, if you're gonna do a Migra joke, come on, be original. Give me something unique. Really take that trope and give me some good humor with that Migra comedy. All right,
it could be better. It could be worse. You could be born in Mexico.
Well, welcome to the Paulie Show.
I know. Indeed, yeah. And
I come hot, dude. I come hot.
That's dude. You and Candle Wax. Look, okay. So 70s rock fan is here also. What's going on, man?
I have to say that
you have a birthday tomorrow. Everybody,
the final
birthday to this bald dude. Yeah, bald dude birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday, 70s.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. The last hours of my 50s are trickling away as we speak. It's like the sand, grains of sand trickling away.
Yeah,
but would like to say that I do share Paulie's. I don't really want to be sandwiched between two guys either. So that's not that I'm prejudiced, but I think I agree with Paulie in that one.
Well, if we add a woman to this show right now, it's going to get very awkward.
I was trying.
Well, if you could define what a woman was, we could add them to the show.
I can.
Until then,
this might get in trouble.
Speaking of which, Mrs. Boss has said that she wouldn't be opposed to joining us at some point if you ever did an early edition.
Oh, okay. It's the hour that she's opposed.
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. We call pumpkin hour because she's up about 5.
Oh yeah.
Be at work at 6, and so it's.
Yeah. When I start back to the gym on Wednesday, that 4 a.m. alarm clock is going to change my life all over again. I'm going to be like, oh no.
No, but I couldn't go to the gym at 4 a.m.
Oh man,
4 p.m. maybe.
Dude, here's the weird thing, man, because I'll go to the gym. Okay, I'll be at the gym at like 4:30, 4:45 because I have to get up at 4. But I'll get to the gym, I'll get warmed up, then I'll play racquetball for like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if I can speak properly. I'll play racquetball for like 2 hours straight from 5 to 7, or maybe even 2.5 hours. Then I'll race my booty over here so I can do my show. And
is there anything really straight about you playing racquetball?
What do you mean?
It sounds really gay.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's because it
Only
is.
if he's playing at the YMCA.
I bring the diversity to my channel, baby.
do you got the headband? The head, what's it called? The sweatband going across your brow while you're.
Oh wow, a white headband around CultureCasino.
Did you have the assless chap?
He just takes the weave off and
whoa,
sets it aside.
From you, Jason?
Use
Really?
this the glue remover.
I would have thought you would have been culturally inclusive culture and played Jai Alai or something like that.
Jai Alai.
Or what we call it. I can't remember what the game is.
Hialeah.
Hey,
Is that
remember when Captain Caveman over here shaved like 2 weeks ago? That was a good time.
Me? Yeah, no, I did. I made comics $100. How I didn't make myself $100 is the problem. But yeah, look, I gotta move on. We already tried to talk about Brian and his oldness. Let's talk about CC Karaoke and his Canadianness. What's going on, CC?
It's been all right. I was kind of waiting for most of the ski season for the skiing to start, and now it's started. So I'm looking forward to this whole next week.
Awesome,
got
man.
lots of powder. It's gonna be good. Yeah.
All right, man. You just float on the powder. You don't want the ice. Ice skiing sucks.
No, I grew up around that back east.
Really?
Where it's all ice all the time out there, right?
Yeah, and it's like you turn your teeth into chiclets in your mouth because you smash your face on the snow all the time. It was not fun. Not fun.
Mexicans we're really afraid of snow.
Really? Oh, dude, it was just snowing in your neck of the woods too, man.
Yeah, exactly. All the Mexican kids didn't realize what the fuck it was, so they started collecting it, and then it turned into
what were the roads like, Polly? Was it chaos?
What the road?
Yeah, the roads on the roads. The ropes as well. Were the ropes chaos?
The roads the roads. Honestly, there was a lot of tree debris. A couple of streets.
Probably real heavy wet snow, snapping some limbs and stuff.
Well, okay, so in the basin, like LA, right? You just got a lot. It's this really cold, a lot of rain and a lot of wind. So there was a lot of trees that went down because we actually have some big ass trees all over the
the city. Yeah, old trees. Yeah.
Now in the hills and the mountains and stuff like that, like where Robert Meyer Burnett, like he's like 50 miles out, towards the mountains. That's where it's snowing, or those low range mountains even got some brief snow.
Now, did Newsom make an announcement about it being cold, so everybody should probably poop indoors? Or
whoa,
was that up in RMB's survivalist compound? Or
I'll poop indoors. I just need that MAGA hat so I can wipe my butt with.
Oh, come on, guys.
Hey, come on. Hey, it's all in good fun. Hey, we got jokes.
Me and Polly have
I'm
fun.
in the mountains. You got plenty of space to go out into the bush if you want.
Don't eat the steaming snow. All right, and finally, we're gonna introduce MAGA hat himself down there at the bottom. It's Brahmable. How's it going, bro? You good?
Pretty good. Finally kicking this chest cold, head cold, whatever it was. It's been a pain in the butt for 3 or 4 days. Oddly enough, I'm not Catholic, but I decided to give up bourbon for Lent because I am Christian and I like the idea of some self-control and some willpower. So
yeah, hey, dude, take the month.
Second I quit drinking bourbon, I get a freaking cold.
Yeah,
never get colds when I got bourbon in me.
Take February off. February is the month I take off from any kind of anything.
Start today and take February off. That's what I do.
Yeah, whenever your health declines when you stop drinking, that's usually a good indication that you're drinking too much.
All right, real quick, since we're just starting the show, I want to say thank you to all the folks that followed over from Tom's Midnight's Edge stream. I appreciate all of you Mead Raiders. You guys are amazing. Want to check on these super chats real fast because we do have a few of them. Say hi to a few folks. Das Wolfen was in and out. He also had a member chat. We'll get to that. Hopefully he is still here. But Philip M. at the beginning of the show says, for $30, a thank you, Philip. He says, love me some late night culture. God bless you and yours. Well, thank you very much. And I return those sentiments to you. And I'm grateful that you're here amongst these many amazing humans and everybody that's in the chat. You guys make all of our shows go, and we are very, very thankful for super chats. So I really do appreciate that. It does really help the channel. It allows me to send money to Grant so that he can make videos for me and all of that. So I do appreciate that. You are very helpful, and we've got a lot of amazing folks in the chat. Once again, just gonna grab these supers real quick at the beginning, but thank you once again, Philip M, for the super. Looks like Chef is here. Chef Nick Nero, how's it going, brother? For $9.99. I know that you're having a rough go, my friend, but I am so glad that you're here. Your super chat is sometimes, just sometimes, I like the idea of a girl on a horse.
That's Bolero. No, that's a different film. There was a girl on a horse in Bolero, though.
Sometimes, just sometimes, I like the idea of a girl on a horse.
Witcher 3. Oh no, that was
Didn't Jennifer Connelly ride a horse once?
Jennifer Connelly was one of the best things about the Top Gun movie, but okay.
It was
he's making
horse.
To a reference to a movie that came out like 30 years ago.
Yeah, my grandparents met on a dude ranch, and he was actually one of the executives at Warner at the time, but he died of a heart attack. So that was way, way back in like 30s or 40s.
Really?
Are there actually dudes on a dude ranch?
Yeah, they were both riding horses, and they met on the trail.
That's awesome. You know, that's what used to be one of my favorite things to do was horseback riding. I really do kind of miss that. I really do miss that.
My sister kept it up. She's got.
I have to say, Chef Nick Nero, if Tom were here, he'd be all over this quote. My brain can't pick this out. Jason should look it up, though.
We should look it up because
Jason's smarter than we give him credit.
Are we still talking about the Jennifer Connelly movie?
Sure, she's smoking hot. Yeah, but thank you for the $10 super chat, Chef Nick Nero. I'm sure Jason will figure out where this is from.
Black Beauty.
Flicka?
What?
Flicka, maybe.
Seabiscuit.
I love you guys.
Just naming horse movies.
Yeah,
Biscuit Eater.
What? I don't think that was a movie.
I don't think it was Bolero.
We also have a super from Jason Sandberg for $5. What's up, Jason? Says, I think the walls should slowly close in during racquetball. Keep it interesting. Well, no, I would be very uncomfortable. I get claustrophobic.
Fill it full of junk at the same time.
No. Here's a weird thing, right? So a racquetball court can be used for multiple things. Obviously, you can use it to play racquetball, but you can also play this really weird version of volleyball called Wallyball. That is crazy stuff. If you get a chance to do that, you should. It is bonkers. But we also had a few. We also had a few member chats that came in. Das Wolfen, thank you for this. Mr. Tickle Trunk says, for 7 months. Awesome panel. Hello, chat. Hello, chat. 65 is out on March 10th. Are you seeing more? I think Polly's seeing it. I know I'm seeing it. You seen it, Polly? 65?
Yeah, sure. It's also the same weekend as the night before. I'm going to see early the Scream.
Oh, you're seeing Scream 6?
Yeah.
Jacob? You gonna see 65? You're muted.
Yeah, I'll probably be the only one who will see it. So yeah, sure.
I'm seeing it.
I'll see it.
Okay, I'll be one of the 4 people who will see it. Okay, you guys happy now?
You don't think people are going to see it? What's up?
It looks good.
Yeah, but is it really going to capture people the way that they want it to? I'm not too sure about that one. I think that one might fall on the vine.
I got a 2-hour drive to the theater, so I got to make a trip for it.
I think it's going to be good. I think it'll be one of those that that'll get word of mouth love, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. Mr. Trickle Truck, thanks again for another member chat grab. I appreciate it. Alf, what's up, my friend? 5 months member here says updates on the Alf plus flash emoji. Okay, both Tom and Andre now have that emoji. If they add it, that's where it'll be. I do what I'm asked to on those channels. I do. If Polly wants me to do something, I'll do stuff for him. I do a lot of emojis. I do a lot of emojis for a lot of channels. So I got more coming on my own. I need to add more. There's so many of you here. I'm lax on my own channel. I take care of everybody else, but I love you guys. So, yeah.
And remind me to ask you guys about the capturing the attention of the audiences as far as films, because I want to come back to that.
Oh, yeah, go for it right now.
Oh, I don't know.
Somebody in the back, don't we?
Yeah,
Backdoor Gary.
Sorry. Hey, just a quick note here, Brahma. Did you send Nick the link? Because I said
yeah.
Yes,
He said he's in the back.
Oh, I don't see him. Oh, there he is. Holy crap.
In the chat, he says he's there.
Nice.
He's been there like 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's been there like 15, 20 minutes.
Nick, tell everybody that you're huge or something. Come on.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to make you huge. All right, there. Look.
Huge.
Look, he's got a glorious beard now.
He's a beautiful beard.
Yeah, Yeti Nick Weiser. So
Beautiful.
Yeah, look at that.
Kind of evens your head out a bit. That's good.
Okay, so wait. So let's see. Okay, so we need to divide. We need a dividing line. Let's see. The hairs versus the non-hairs.
Well, let's put the two cowboy hats in the bottom, and then we can put the balds in the center, and then we'll leave all the people in the hair on the top.
Why you gotta be putting me on the bottom, brother?
Okay, I just divided up. I just divided
what's
everybody.
What's the deal
up.
here, Jacob? What's the
hair
deal?
or no hair? That's
the bottom is a whole lot less
I
work.
feel like that's a weird version of deal or no deal.
No hair.
But no, good question. So yeah, go ahead, man. What do you think captures the attention of an audience now in cinema? Holly?
I definitely think Cocaine Bear has captured a lot of attention right now.
Yeah, to the tune of some serious money, like $23.1 million.
Hey, look at that! Right on cue. I did not know this.
That's
segue.
You're so professional.
You are a professional, but this is a really weird thing, right? Because I thought this film was going to do well. Tom thought this film was going to do well. I had no idea it was going to do as well as it did. I really wanted it to displace Ant-Man. I still think that this number is low, and I think that you would agree with me, maybe, Paulie, that this number 23.1 will actually be revised upward. What do you think?
Yeah, it should. It should be curious to see middle of the week, towards the end of the week, the actual numbers.
Yeah.
We usually have the results by Monday by 5 Central Time. So that'd be 3 your time. Then they have the final numbers by then. Unless it's like a holiday weekend, then they don't usually come in until Wednesday.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
Since it's a normal weekend, they'll be out tomorrow.
Well, and that's
how
not
wide
counting,
scale was
that's
this
not
release?
counting- It's international. It's got 5.3 million international.
This thing's going to do better than anybody thought.
Yeah, 'cause
really
I mean, look,
believe
the
that.
whole setup of the film just sounds like chaos. I think people are just looking for a chaos film. You just tell them that, yeah, there's going to be a bear killing people and it's high on cocaine. People are like, okay, sold. Like, and then that's all they go to see. They want to see a bear high on crack, just ripping through people. And they get a little bit of that, maybe not as much as they probably should have gotten, but I mean, they do get it.
Well, but this film definitely captured the audience's attention. It had me from the very beginning. I thought the premise was just goofy, hilariously funny. And I like horror films, and I like goofy horror films. And I thought this is like Evil Dead meets like Bear plus, Colombian marching
like
powder.
Man Bear Pig.
This sounds like something that would come from the asylum.
It does.
Like Sharknado type of thing.
Oh, see, I love those movies.
And like I've seen this film, and I know Paulie's seen this film for fun. I want Paulie, just give me some kind of an impression of this film for you.
I can see a similarity.
Is it in the tongue?
No, I thought it was the dusting of
Phrasing.
the mustache.
Dr. Tongue.
This is why you're never going to go far on YouTube, Brian.
Wow.
Okay.
Harsh but fair.
With you?
Vicious but fair.
No, in the life of YouTube, Nick.
It's gonna be huge.
Oh, so huge.
Is there
No,
a joke about like
but you-
cocaine rampages here that I'm missing?
Oh God, I'm 7.5 years sober. Please, not
Yeah,
another
but
cocaine bender.
But I saw your, you know, fresh out of the theater review that you did on this film.
Yeah.
What did you think? I mean,
We had a good time. I mean, there were some jokes that didn't land. You know, it probably could have used like an editing of like shave off about 10 minutes. You know,
right?
really
Yeah.
tighten it up. But there were some really fantastic. You know, I was surprised how gory it was. There was some good comedy connected to the bear. What I was surprised was how the actors were so committed to the over the top of their characters. Everyone was really good in their characters.
Wow.
Kerry Russell, I mean, she was great. She was a mama bear,
Hot.
just like like the cocaine bear was a mama bear. So,
may I ask, Polly, what character Ray Liotta was playing? What was his character? Was he a cop or was he just a? Isn't Ray Liotta in it?
Yes.
Yes.
Ray Liotta is basically playing a wise guy.
Okay,
dealer.
so he's not playing a sheriff or a cop or something.
There's a detective. Another great character. They had some
yeah.
great character actors in there.
Oh, it was nothing but great character actors. I
Yeah.
swear to goodness, it was like I was like, oh my gosh! Like every single moment. That's how I reacted.
I give a lot of props to Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah.
Because she's worked with a lot of these people, and that's cool. You know, you can bring them in. You know, that's pretty dope. I'm surprised it was this good. As far as her, just was her second film that she's directed, but yeah, Ray's character was fine. He had a couple of moments. He had a nasty death. You know, spoilers.
This is the last film he shot, right?
Yes.
Wasn't there a drama a couple months ago that also came out?
There was, but I do believe this was his last cinematic explode.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Which is a bummer, man. What a way to go. Too young.
Alden Ehrenreich is in this too, and I hear he does fairly well.
He's Ray Liotta's. Am I doing spoilers on this?
I think it's fine. I mean,
do you guys
it's not
care?
really a spoiler.
Go for it, Polly.
Yeah, so he's Ray Liotta's son, and he's lamenting over his wife dying.
Yeah.
And it's been a while. You know, it's a pretty funny, you know, setup for a comedy with his best friend O'Shea Jackson. he was really good. Yeah, I was surprised how much you know, Alden did a good job.
Yeah.
It's funny how actors do if they've got a decent director and an okay script, you know.
Well, so many elements. You know, you've had actors and directors on your show.
Yeah.
It's story. I mean, we were just talking about this.
A good film is lightning in a bottle. That's the best way. I mean, I know you've said that a million times, but it's 100% true. A good film is lightning in a bottle. It's not. It doesn't come out of nowhere. But it has to have all these different elements that keep the audience engaged. And if it doesn't, man, it just crashes.
Tommy's here.
Yeah,
Hey,
I saw
Tom.
Tom. Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Hey, you actually. So here's the problem, right? Okay, so wait. So how does CC end up there? There we go. We got okay.
I have not found that quote yet, by the way.
No, I can't find it either.
The balds have now dominated this stream. There are more balds than non-balds.
Bald and the beautiful.
Well, I mean, some of you guys got more hair for all of us, so why don't you just start donating it? Let's just get it going.
I do donate my hair, actually. It's part of my jam. But no, my quick review of the film was it's dumb fun. The actors that are in it do a great job. There's a little bit of modern dialogue that sneaks into a film that it doesn't belong there. There was only one person that was cast outside of what that should have been done, and outside of all of that, you don't get pulled out of this film ever. It's dumb fun, and the CGI is good. This $35 million little tiny budgeted film has better CGI than $200 million Disney thing. I was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Terrible.
Well, I look at this film the same way that I would kind of look at a film like Terrifier 2, the one that kind of like blew up the audiences last year on a very, very small budget. And I feel like that film kind of knew exactly like what it was and pretty much gave audiences like pretty much what they were expecting. Like they were expecting this super gory, super bloody, like, you know, horror film that was going to be gross out. And they kind of just went all in with it. This film, I felt like kind of held back on a lot of instances because I think it focused a little too much on the characters and not enough on, essentially, like I said, it's supposed to be like a car crash film for it to really be successful based on the hype that it had. Because a lot of people are going to go in there and be like, oh yeah, this is going to be a fun, like, you know, let's say car crash movie. And then I don't know, maybe they'll be a little bit disappointed. I heard some people saying that, you know, even for a movie that was 90 minutes long, it felt like it dragged on a little too long because a lot of the plot points weren't as sharpened up as it should have been. So I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to recommend this movie. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't know if this is strong enough for me to recommend anyone go see it.
I mean, you know, I can't argue with that. Like I said, it probably needed a good 10-minute editing cut. Need another pass, an editing pass.
Yeah,
really?
Because the pace was off.
It felt long, even though it was only like 90 minutes long.
Pacing was off because it did kind of like what's the identity here of this? Is it a dark comedy or is it a gory? And then it's because, you know, also too, it's not much of a story. It's funny. It's just not like, you know.
It's like it should have focused on just like a handful of characters, and then everyone else should have just been cannon fodder getting ripped up by this bear, like in between.
I mean, so that being said, I still had a good time because you're right. I still had a good time though.
Were there two teenagers slipping off into the forest for illicit sex that then get ripped to shreds?
No,
normally what happens.
We just got two preteens on cocaine. That's pretty much all you're gonna get.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
There was the European couple, the hikers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that he was in Game of Thrones, right? The big redheaded guy.
Oh, was that him?
No,
yeah.
That guy?
Yeah.
So then he gets killed. Go ahead.
Does the bear just keep re-upping on the cocaine, or is it one massive dose?
It's really good. And Ibhish here says Asylum is making Meth Gator. Yes, I saw that news today, courtesy of Stieg, actually over on Lorena's channel. And
Elizabeth Banks is thinking about the shark because somebody popped off on some comments
about the cocaine shark.
About cocaine shark, and she's like, it's not a bad idea. So they're thinking about a sequel.
A Canadian version, Crystal Meth Caribou, I believe.
There's so much room for this, right?
The movie, I would say, was set up for a sequel.
We've already got like 30 of them in the chat that people are coming up with.
And CC Karaoke's like, let's do Meth Gator versus Cocaine Bear. I'm like, yes, let's do that.
I don't think Heroin Moose is gonna roll off the tongue just like all the other ones.
Nah, I mean, how about Crocodile? Right.
Oh,
yeah. So anyway, look real quick. Mr. Tickle Truck reminded me, and thank you, Tender Warrior 68, for 5 gifted Culture Casino memberships. You are amazing, my friend.
Check
and we got another couple of chats here that came in. Jedi Bill 797, a member for a couple months, and a great content creator. A lot of fun to hang out with. Wonderful karaoke streams. Check out Jedi Bill 797, who says, "Great show, awesome content." Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. A few other things came in. Nano Reaper says Cocaine Bear was very loosely based on a true story. Yes, like 1%. 1% of truth.
The real story is that the bear ate the cocaine and died like 15 minutes later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's fantastic. And exactly, that's what Nano Reaper says here. So thank you, Nano Reaper. Yes, the story is 1% true. A lot of artistic license and an absolute boatload of fun.
It is funny because there was a movie called Crawl that came out a few years ago about the gators attacking this girl during like a hurricane or something like that. And literally like the week before the movie came out, we heard the story in Florida about the gators getting into a barrel of methamphetamines. And it was a pretty wild story. And it was like, damn, if only someone had this story that came out before they were writing this movie, it would have been a far better movie if we had gotten meth gators then.
Fantastic. And then of course we got a couple more chats. Thank you, Paulie. Small Time Republic sent a member chat. 24 months. Thank you, brother, for your support. I think that's as long as I've had membership. So thank you for that.
Wow.
Says Megan has made $172 million on a $12 million budget. That's what you want if you're a studio, folks. You don't need to spend a lot of money. Horror makes a lot of money. And that was a PG-13 film. Consider that. That's a PG-13 film. This is an R-rated film that we're talking about now. The Cocaine Bear, right? That's unheard of.
Here.
I
see a theme here. Culture. Two R-rated movies, and they're both PG-13 originals.
Yeah. Oh no, they are.
Well, even PG-13. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But
no, you're right.
Although Megan's got a gorier cut. Megan's got an alternate cut. That's
the R-rated. Yeah.
But go ahead. I'm sorry, Nick.
There's clearly there are people who want to see originals and are willing to take time to go see it. And like Megan obviously, did some numbers, and it seems like there's obviously an interest for Cocaine Bear. People want to see things that they haven't seen before in theaters. It doesn't mean everyone's going to like it, but it shows you people are willing to give it a shot. And I think that should send a message with these last two movies. So hopefully we'll get more of that in the future as more originals.
I don't know how they couldn't stumble on more stuff like that. I mean, honestly,
Hollywood always learns the wrong lessons from these things. They will
also
not,
too. I've learned that. Let's go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna make a bad joke.
Oh,
what a Canadian!
Paulie, that's my job.
Was.
Look, all I know is that there's opportunities for everybody to grow from this. It's just, and I think you're on the right track, Jason. Hollywood doesn't take the right lesson from this stuff.
I think one of the things, well, in our review, Mr. Harvey saw it last Wednesday, and when you stop and consider this movie as a B movie, a drive-in B movie, kind of like it's a Joe Bob Briggs flick, right? Yes. It's one of those kind of things. And the cast is clearly having fun, and it's an absurd idea. Just the whole concept of it is just, what are we even doing here? And it is right. It's dumb fun. It's nothing more than that. And I think that's what people are going for, especially now after the last 2 years that we've had.
Yeah.
Mentally, I think people are ready for our break, and something like this is just pure escapism. We know it's a dumb idea, but we're gonna go watch it and enjoy it anyway.
I think people also like the idea of a standalone movie that they don't have to watch 10 other movies before and after in order to continue the narrative, which is what we get with all superhero stuff. They want just a movie that's a one and done. And 2 hours or 90 minutes of entertainment in this case, I guess.
Hollywood needs a salary cap, like in baseball and like the NBA. It's like no one is allowed to make a movie for over $20 million, and let the creative juices flow under those restrictions.
That's the point to do it, Jacob.
TMT Jaguar. Look at these guys. Amphetamine slots from Michael Gonzalez.
Peyote Coyote.
Heroin horse.
Peyote Coyote from Sanders.
I like that
Peyote Coyote. Yeah.
Speed sloth.
Peyote Coyote.
Oh,
Smack rats.
Darth Scipio says he had it first.
Oh, you guys are broken humans. I love every one of you. Opioid honor. Thank you, OC Dobbins.
Somebody had a hashish hamster up there earlier.
Oh, that one wouldn't hurt anybody. It would just lie around in the floor,
look at this.
squeaking.
Oh my gosh. Sharknado X drug sharks. There you go. That's coming. I promise you. Southern Taco Bell says, I also like hibiscus herbal tea. Well, I don't know where that came from, but all right. Let's see. Somebody said something extra fun. Oh, there's Eric K saying, I'm waiting for hashish hamster for $2. Thank you, Eric.
It wouldn't exactly be frightening, though, would it? I mean, it would just lie around.
Hey, boo-boo. Was that a picnic basket? Yeah, Tom does that better.
Hey, no picnic basket, boo-boo.
There you go. Tom, you got to go see this movie, or I will have to disown you.
I mean, doesn't he have to sludge through the snow?
Well, I don't know. How much snow could he possibly have? Peyote
In
Coyote.
Wisconsin?
That's the best.
Dude, you kidding me?
Oh no.
I like that one.
We've got our good friend Jason Fox out there saying, I'll watch the Cocaine Bear at some point. I think a lot of people will. That was a lot of fun. Our good Canadian friend and Wrench here, Mr. Tickle Trunk, for a Canadian $5 says, give me Cocaine Bear versus Crack Croc versus Crystal Meth Caribou versus LSD Komodo Dragon versus Heroin Crazed Mexico.
Oh yeah, lock them in a mall.
Mall.
That's great. That's a great idea.
No.
Yeah.
The cherry on top is you got to put them in a cage. It's gonna be a cage match, brother.
Actually, lock them in the houses of government.
The mall has a petting zoo, and they get stuck in the cage in the petting zoo in the mall.
I think they should make a Mighty Mouse universe and just have all these be the supervillains.
I'm gonna die.
That's a good idea.
Oh man, come to Hollywood where we learn the wrong lessons. Yes,
absolutely.
Cocaine Casino. No, thank you. That's not my jam. Man, you guys are awful. Love it. Wait. Let's see. Oh, Jason Sandberg says beer deer. That'd be a dude. First of all, deer's
it's just gonna be a deer sleep in the bush.
Yeah, I know. Deers aren't the smartest animal in the forest.
PCP primates.
Wait, Clay Thomason makes a good point, and I think this is something our good friend, Latino Slant will have to answer for.
I knew you were gonna fucking call me out.
How come you don't respect female directors? There, Latino Slant.
Why don't you respect Elizabeth Banks, another female director? CC, yeah. He's saying it to you.
No, it's definitely for you
because we've seen her movies.
It wasn't for me.
Didn't she direct the Perfect Pitch?
Her only two directing movies before this was Pitch Perfect 3 and Charlie's Angels, the one that came out a couple years ago.
The one that bombed.
Don't forget movie 43 or whatever the hell it was.
I was gonna say there's another movie that came out. So 3 movies.
I personally,
movie 43 was weird.
Respect.
Director,
Easton McCracken. Well done.
I'm surprised nobody's mentioned the psychedelic frog Venom in any way.
That sounds good.
I mean that's built in right there.
Hypnotoad.
Look, I think this is a good thing for Elizabeth Banks. And there was a lot of preemptive press on this in case it went badly for her. Yeah. And Jason Fox, welcome to the membership, my friend.
Wow.
Well, I mean, look, this is one way or another. Cocaine Bear is her best directed film thus far, and that's not really saying much, but yeah.
Well, Tom, didn't you guys talk about she had said something about how she was worried about this one and how she was going to look after it?
This video.
Yeah, Tom, do you remember what she said?
I don't remember the specifics offhand, but it's something along those lines. Like they were hedging a lot of this just in case this movie didn't do well. And, Elizabeth with the normal bullshit about, when Charlie's Angels was coming out, she was bitching about how women aren't allowed to direct action films. She was basically saying the same shit about horror films now. And it's just like, none of it's true. She's full of shit. I don't even know where she's getting half the shit from. She's gotten more chances than most turned directors.
Well, we're in the day and age of failing upwards, Tom.
Yeah.
So of course that's why she's got more.
Let's also keep in mind this is like people were more excited about the film before they found out she was even attached to it. It was like, oh, a movie called Cocaine Bear. That looks great.
That's because Lord and Miller were the producers. They should have directed it too, if you ask me. But
I didn't know that she was a director until months and months later. You're correct.
I was surprised to find out she was doing it because it just doesn't seem like something in her wheelhouse.
I actually thought it was Lord and Miller.
No, that's actually not correct because she was always part of the boys club as far as 20 years ago, breaking into those comedies, 40-Year-Old Virgin. Like when those guys were funny.
Zach and Miri make a Prano.
Zach,
great. Yeah.
So I think
didn't she just has that movie?
I think she actually has that pedigree. Is that lately before this she went down the Wacoso Trail.
But didn't she just recently do the movie where she basically had Jordan Peterson as the
No. That's the
veiled
other
as Jordan Peterson.
That's the other psycho, Olivia Wilde.
No,
Yeah,
but
that
she
was-
did
that
the
was Olivia
abortion.
Wilde?
Yeah,
She did do the
Okay.
abortion film though.
Gotcha.
Yeah, which I'm uncomfortable
That's
with.
the one with Sigourney Weaver.
And-
All Jane, yeah.
Yeah,
She
and
did blame-
Jane Doe's right. Didn't Banks blame the fans for not liking her last movie? Yes, she did.
Try to walk it back.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did.
She recently tried to walk it back.
How do you guys feel about that? Because we're getting to a point now. Because with Woody Harrelson doing what he did on Saturday Night Live, you've
it's
got
hilarious.
a number of them that are starting to basically come around and backtrack on some of the stuff that they said before and get more toward center. And let's not tick off everybody. Is this?
I think it's them trying to get.
Do it?
I think it's them trying to get ahead of the curve because let's be honest, like a lot of stuff that they're trying to say now, we've been saying for like 3 years, but it's getting to a point now where the cover up isn't going to be as easy over the next few years as it was a few years ago when they were telling everybody to shut up. So now they're trying to come out and it seemed like they're in front of us, like, oh guys, isn't it weird that Pfizer is just running the entire world right now? That sounds odd, right? It's like, yeah, okay. Well, where were you 3 years ago when people were saying this exact same thing?
I think you're right, Jacob, but you gotta keep in mind also Woody Harrelson has also been pretty much an openly anarchist type of guy.
Yeah,
he's not out of character for him to say something like that. If anything, that's part of something that he would say. But I do believe that both things are correct. Woody Harrelson would say something like that, but yes. There is definitely a bit of Hollywood who wants to save face, and I even vouch the same thing on behalf of Zachary Levi. He's been very openly libertarian for a while, and somehow he's gotten away with it for as long as he has in Hollywood. And he has obviously his position about the corruption there. So, I mean, the guys who are saying are guys who, pretty much have always felt that way. No, will Hollywood follow guys like that while acting like they're against them? Yeah, probably. I can see that happening until they're like, oh yeah, they were corrupt all along. We just discovered it, and they're going to deny that we all saw it 2 or 3 years ago.
Well, eventually, it's kind of their own way of kind of getting back in with regular society, but that's neither here nor there. What I think is funny is Viagra Vipers. Those are some stiff snakes.
So many great ideas in the chat right now.
You guys are killing me. Viagra fans coming up with 1 million of them. You got Price of Reason here saying she's not a great director either, to be honest. There was some trimming in this film that could have been done. There were some shots that were a little awkward, but I didn't have necessarily a huge problem with it, but I understand where you're coming from, specifically with Charlie's Angels. I thought it was not well done.
There comes a point, though, that you have to say, do you have to be a great director? Isn't it good enough for some movies just to be an adequate director? I mean, we can't all be great
for
directors.
Cocaine Bear.
I learned pretty quickly in film school that to be a director, you have to be invited and follow the rules of the club and the popular crowd.
Hey, we're in a time now. If you write a couple episodes of Rick and Morty or the Jimmy Kimmel Show, they'll just give you an MCU film. So I mean,
but Sunday's does have a good point. I mean, I think sometimes if you take a bunch of good personalities, whether it's like a good bunch of visual effects artists, good actors, good producing team, good director, but together you make a great group who makes a great movie when it's a bunch of good personalities.
Yeah, we got kind of hung up on the auteur thing of the director is the be all and end all of every movie, and I think that's something that's been since the 70s.
I think you have a great.
You don't
point
have
there,
to be
70s.
the greatest director ever. You have to be an adequate project manager and good at your craft, but you don't have to be the greatest ever, especially for a movie about a cocaine bear. It's well, let's face it, it's not high art, so
Yeah, and here's the thing. Yeah, I'm with you all. Michelle here makes a point to Tom. Says, I agree with you. She needs to sit down and be quiet. I'm tired of women like Elizabeth Banks thinking they speak for the rest of us. Says, I can speak for myself on what kind of movies I like. Just like Brie Larson, I do not need you to come out and speak for me. Women like Brie Larson and Elizabeth Banks making our gender look bad.
So,
wow.
I sent you guys that video, right, of that freaking idiot. I think what's happening now is that it's in the ether as far as dialing it back. Jason, right? It is. I do feel there is a lot of dialing back, and then there's the Woodies and Bill Mayer, whatever his name is, some other people that are getting a little more street cred. They're gonna kind of getting their street cred back in Hollywood a little bit. But the argument now is that these lunatics are they're just throwing Hail Marys. They're speaking for Bryan Cranston speaking for black people. You had this. I did a video on this professor who did an op-ed, big surprise in San Francisco Chronicle, saying if you do not use Latinx, you are transphobic, you are racist. I mean, it's like that's I was like expecting you when oh shit, then you have this. Thank you.
Oh no.
I'm not sure that's the clip.
This is not the clip.
That's not the right clip.
This is not the right clip, but it is the right clip. Jesus.
I think Culture's vomiting. I think Culture left to go vomit.
That was the clip you sent me.
No, I sent the one before, brother. Bryan Cranston. It's all right. But do you guys follow me here on the panel at all?
Yeah, I feel you. I think, like I said, a lot of it has to do with the fact that a lot of these mega corporations that control all of our entertainment are in a spot where they're losing money now. So now they're kind of being forced to make more smart financial decisions, and they know that all of this, diversity, inclusion, and equity nonsense isn't drawing money for them and is only pushing their customers away. So they're trying to pull in the range just a little bit to make it seem like, hey guys, we're still making entertainment for you guys, even though we hate you.
Well, and if you look at what's going on over at Disney, and I think Valiant Renegade was talking about this over there with Cameron and WDW. If you look on LinkedIn and you search the hashtag Disney layoffs, everybody that's out there saying, yep, I just got let go, they're in HR and they're in the diversity division. When everybody was expecting it to be other places,
sure,
that's where they got hit first. And it's like, well, wait a minute. I thought Bob Iger was supposed to save all of this, and it's not happening the way they thought.
Well, that's the fact.
DEI is not a moneymaker.
Yeah.
Well, and you're going to see
every few years, right? It's like when we look back at the 70s and there's a visual design to it.
This isn't it.
So what is that a dick wrapping around you guys?
This wasn't it either. Okay, all right. I'm still looking, guys.
What you're gonna see is comedians like Woody are gonna be the ones that dip their toes in the water, because comedians are the ones that can get away with it a little bit more than a normal actor on trying to, return back from some of the things that have been said over the past few years. So Woody's kind of the perfect kind of guy, an older comedian and, long-term actor that can dip his toes in and say, all right, are we getting canceled if we start reversing our positions now?
Brahma in 70s, we did that grunge show a couple weeks ago, right?
We did.
Yeah. And that is a trend, and I love grunge, but it lasted a few years and then society moved on to something else. And this will be the same. Whatever you think about the last few years of entertainment, it's not going to last forever. It's going to move on like it always does, right?
Okay, so now like we're ending the award season real soon with the Academy Awards. It's like the pinnacle of Hollywood congratulating itself on movies well done. A movie, because Jason said this, they learn what was you said it?
They always learn the wrong lessons.
So here's the lesson, right? The most successful films, whether artistically or commercially, Top Gun and Everything Everywhere All at Once, all done, especially Everything Everywhere. It's not a studio film. It was made for peanuts. They had to get that money together, but they're claiming it as theirs, and it's getting all the accolades, all the awards. That's fine. Jamie Lee Curtis just won tonight, by the way, over Angela Bassett. Sometimes they get it right. Sometimes they get it right because that's the better performance. Also, too, I say that, and yet they've totally shitted on Tom Cruise and Top Gun.
That's
it's probably
for
the great,
best.
But it's like as far as best film of the year.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Paulie, and I do agree with you. But a movie like Top Gun, it doesn't need it. We love it.
No.
The people spoke, and especially in America, is the most successful, domestically speaking, 2022 film of the year. The people have made their decision there. We know
Correct, but I'm not talking about the
most
people.
liked.
But I'm not
But
talking
I
about
know.
people right now.
I know
I'm
you're
talking
not.
about what that Hollywood's so self-absorbed. Even like what Jason says, even when they get the lesson, they'll claim it, they'll shit on it, but it saved them. It saved the business. That's all I was saying.
It
You're absolutely right,
reminds
Nick.
me- Yeah, it reminds me of that clip that was floating around where Steven Spielberg was talking to Tom Cruise and basically said, "You saved Hollywood." And I think there's an acknowledgement, whether the trades or the industry, publications, media, or whatever, whether they acknowledge it publicly, internally, I think they realize that movies like Top Gun are what they need to be doing. And whether it's this, you get the smaller budgets like Everything Everywhere or Cocaine Bear, and they realize, whether they want to say it or not, they've got to make some changes and not be doing these 250 million tent pole that's you got to see 10 to get this one and then see 2 more afterwards and part of this big franchise. I think the bubble on franchises is about to burst.
Yeah. And Nick, I get what you're saying about Top Gun doesn't need the award, but do the Oscars and the Academy Awards need Top Gun to win that award? Because nobody's watching that outside of Will Smith slapping somebody across the face. So if they really want to bring people back to watching their stupid award shows, maybe they should give awards to movies that people actually watch, rather than a whole bunch of movies that nobody's heard of and nobody's seen.
Well, it's
maybe
like
I just come from the public enemy territory, because even though that's obviously music, but they're the types of guys like, hey, we have our fans, we don't need no awards, we got our fans. I just come from that mentality. Yeah, it's nice when it happens, but at the end of the day, your fans who pay to keep you in business are your number one.
Success is the best award.
Well, and like Ollie was talking about, Jamie Lee Curtis winning an award tonight. The SAG Awards are going on tonight, and does anybody know? Is anybody watching? Is it even on? Is it even on a channel anywhere where people can watch? They're losing. All of these award shows are losing audience, and they've
the BAFTA's backfired
because they used to be fun. I remember the Oscars used to be fun years ago. It was exciting. It was fun. It was glamorous. They weren't busy lecturing.
Now you need a certain proportion of different races in order to even qualify for the awards, right?
Another actor who's kind of spoken or just really stood their ground, Ben Stiller with Tropic Thunder.
I wondered when they were going to come for him. Yeah, they were bound to come for him eventually because of that. Yeah.
Well, they've always been.
Yeah,
they've always been, but
it released with controversy.
He just doubled down again recently. Like, he makes no apologies, and that's good. That's great. Fantastic.
Especially as that was mocking the very concept of people doing what Russell Crowe's character, Robert Downey Jr.'s character did in that. It was a mockery of it. It wasn't like he was saying, "I think this is a great thing." It was making it look ridiculous.
Well, it was a mockery of Hollywood in general. But yes, specifically that, yeah.
Yeah. If you're not clever enough to get that, then don't watch the movie.
It would be kind of different if Russell Crowe had been in that role.
Sorry, Russell Crowe. I don't know why that came to mind. I really don't know why that popped in my head. Just movies about gladiators, I guess. Yeah.
There is that history of brown and black facing, which has always been kind of a weird thing. But there's been some great performances. Yeah. I think with Trump. Sorry,
I'm just thankful that no prime ministers of a Western nation would ever think of doing something like that twice.
Whoa, Andy Masterson.
SAG. I was thinking that earlier. It should be the SAGgy Awards.
Oh.
You're pretty good.
Well played, Andy. Yes,
well good in that dress.
Oh, that was good.
And of course,
player hate all you want.
Bleeply assists. I thought it was the Film Actors Guild. Yes.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Damn, brutal.
Speaking of that, so Yeah, so real Nick Nero, our buddy Nick the chef, the film he sent me was Chasing Amy. That's where that line was from.
Chasing Amy.
Yeah.
God, that's so long since
It's been a while since I've seen it, but I don't remember that line in it. I remember the finger cuffs.
A lot of weird stuff. But no,
What
I
I'm
really
hoping-
appreciate. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying what I'm hoping that comes out of this award season is a full-on appreciation for both Brendan Fraser and Ke Huy Quan. You know, it is time for them to have the successful careers that we all thought they were going to have 30 years ago.
Yeah,
and they both won tonight.
Yeah, they've been winning everything, and you know, they're both nominated for Oscars. So,
and well, yeah, we already know what the Oscars are going to look like now. I really think there's, you're going to have Whale, Everything, Everywhere, at all at once. I mean, there's like a whole bunch of films that are clearly. I'm sorry, just usually the indications from directors and SAG, DGA, WGA, SAG, they kind of give you the preview. I mean, the BAFTAs kind of set it up to a certain extent, but shit rolls over. So.
Well, and Philip Davis resigned from BAFTA over that. Basically,
I know.
It was an embarrassing travesty, especially calling out the fact that they left Bernard Cribbins off the in memoriam.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
Well, beyond that? I mean, I think he's just pissed off because, I mean, there was so much stuff. Plus, they screwed up somebody's name, announced somebody different.
Yeah,
I mean,
they cut off everybody.
Well, yeah, but they were trying to time it for that last hour so that they could have the last hour live on both of those networks.
Simulcast it.
And Angela Bassett did a thing.
What did she do?
Not win.
What did she do?
She a poor loser?
Can't be good.
No, you guys didn't see any highlights or lowlights.
I saw people talking about something about it, but I never looked into it to see what it was. So
it's I mean,
Context,
it's
please.
a musical number gone wrong. In actually,
oh yeah,
oh no,
and Ariana DeBose sang the nominations for Best Supporting Actress, and it was rap, and she wrote it, and it's pretty funny. It was pretty cringe, and there's this one thing where she said Angela Bassett did a thing, and it's rather breathy and off pace and just strange. But yeah, that's why he cries.
Chasing a lesbian, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of the catchphrase right now.
Based on
Angela Bassett did a thing.
But I think I could live with Hollywood being cringe if they aren't lecturing me, There's always
that's
been an
funny.
element of cringe.
Correct. That's different. That's
I can live
not
with that.
Yeah.
There's always been an element of that at the Academy Awards, the silly dance numbers that
Right.
run wrong or songs and
Billy Crystal.
things
Let's
fall
go back
flat
to that.
sometimes.
Let's go back to bad productions. Yeah.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah. Just don't lecture me while you're doing it, and then great.
I can forgive an awful lot at award shows, but I mean, they're becoming largely irrelevant. Nobody's watching anymore. The audience numbers are dropping. They have had a couple of small bumps recently, but they'll return to.
It kind of pisses me off that we're sitting here in a world where we're trying to cut the game of baseball short by making all these stupid rule changes.
you see
that's
that?
supposed to make the change. Listen,
Yeah.
I can go on an entire rant on that by itself, but somehow they expect us to watch these long ass award shows that are still 3.5 hours long for a bunch of people doing speeches about how they
Patting
hate
each other on the back.
Yeah, it's like why in the hell would anyone want to sit there and watch that at this point? Like, why would you think people want to commit to that? But no, let's totally make baseball shorter.
Did you see that game last night? That game yesterday?
The Braves and Red Sox where they bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth, and they called it was like a hitter got
pitch
called
clock.
for like delay
He didn't get in the
like that.
He didn't get in the box within
didn't get in
8
the box in
seconds of the
time.
pitch clock expiring.
And the game ends on the draw.
And the game ended like that.
I mean, any of that is going to be a problem going forward. Baseball shouldn't be put on those clocks. So the only reason that we had to create those clocks was because certain managers tried to take advantage of situations.
See, one of the reasons I love going to baseball live is I like the longer the game, the better, because I get to drink more.
Well, and the conversation. So, and Paulie's going to understand this because I still go to the ball game with my pop.
Yeah.
Right. I still go to the ball game with my pop. You get to sit in next to your pop and you have a conversation. It's great.
The longer the better.
Time.
Yeah.
Right? And
But
even if
they're
it's
trying
not
they're trying to appeal to people who don't even like baseball, who complains like, "Oh, the games are too long. I don't want to sit there for 3 hours. Is there any way you guys can make it 2.5 hours? Maybe I'll
it's
actually
happening
watch
with
a game."
every institution. They're trying to appeal to people who don't want it. It's happening with video games. Like, let's appeal to the lowest common denominator video games. They're trying to do it to everyone with everything, and that's a problem because you're taking these things that have particular audiences, and you're saying, "Oh, well, let's make it for everyone." The problem is, it comes back to that age-old saying: when you try to appeal to absolutely everybody, you strongly risk pleasing nobody. There's nothing wrong with having a niche audience or just a loyal following that's not the base audience. Now, if they're every now and then you'll get something that'll happen to be nearly universally loved, like a Top Gun Maverick, but that's not supposed to happen with every single thing because it ends up just being usually a blundered mess. It just to be Top Gun happened to be a movie for action fans, Tom Cruise fans, and most people just tended to like it. They didn't say we need to appeal to everyone under the sun. They didn't say, "Hey, let's throw a romance movie in there." Oh, hey, let's make it a horror part because we gotta have the horror part to appeal to everyone. Oh, also we gotta make sure we have the DIE checkbox part too. We gotta do that too. They just made a movie.
Yep.
And
does Major League Baseball have sensitivity fans?
Nick.
What, Paul?
Which oddly enough, Top Gun was incredibly diverse.
Oh yeah, and it's fine. Oh, I know, and it was, and that's fine. And
I don't think they should be.
Those characters worked for the movie.
I don't think they should be changing baseball.
It was about you guys were already the best, but I'm bringing you back in, and I'm assemble my team based on who performance, right? And
meritocracy,
the best,
right?
So meritocracy. Thank you, Brahma. Meritocracy prevailed.
Real quick, we got a couple of things I wanted to.
Words, but yeah,
real quick. Yeah, it's a big word. I'm sorry, Paulie. It's
my bag of brain.
The people who are gooder than other people.
Yeah,
I mean the bestest.
Yeah, no, but Stunt Brat brings up, and again, Stunt Brat is retired stunt woman from the industry. Says, I used to like Angela Bassett till she didn't go to the funeral of her stunt double who died on the set. Holy cow!
Ouch.
That's pretty bad.
She says later that her young stunt double just ordered Angela a stunt woman's engraved jacket.
Jeez.
Whoa.
Well, Stunt Brat. I don't want to get into it.
Nah, that's a shame. I look, Angela Bassett's an incredibly talented actress. I've always enjoyed her work. What I don't enjoy is weird and bad CGI. And apparently, and I'm doing this because I got sent this by Monkey Jeebus. Where is it?
Pinche Jeebus.
Easy now.
With us.
Easy now.
At the movies, he didn't come by.
He didn't show up. No.
No. Verbal Riot. Chris Gore.
Yeah, Verbal. I saw.
Cyfax.
Yeah.
What in the?
This is bad CGI.
That's
wow.
Oh, that's that new image of Sasha Kaye.
Yeah,
that came out.
By the way, me and Jane Theory literally got into an argument about this last night too, because she was saying how all of these like superhero movies that have like $300 million budgets like just look cheap and they need to do better. And it's like these are the most expensive movies that are out in movie theaters right now. They all cost like $200 and $300 million a pop to produce, and they still look awful. So it's like, how much more money do you think they need to spend to make these movies look better?
No,
well,
right. Look at Wonder Woman 4.
Yeah, but what we've learned
spent.
Yeah, but what we learned out of that,
it looks like they didn't spend 50. Sorry,
the Marvel stuff. You know, all of the visual effects houses in Hollywood say, we don't want to work with Marvel anymore because it's not just spending the money on the stuff that we see; it's all of the other options. Well, we need to pick from X and Y and Z and change this and change that and do this, and you've got a week to give us this scene, and half of the stuff is rushed and half of the stuff ends up on the cutting room floor because they never use it, but they want to have it just in case. And how much of that money is just wasted because instead of a director sits there and says, okay, I need this shot, I need this angle, I need this to happen here, done. And you deliver the effect shots that are on the list of what's going to go into the movie, and you concentrate your time and attention and effort on those, and you don't do all of the other what if, maybe, kind of sort of options,
not only that, but the reason why these studios are sick and tired of working with Marvel is because Marvel, all of their MCU films at this point are like 85 to 90% blue screens. They're literally creating the entire movie from scratch. It's not just like, hey, we need this scene to look good, or hey, we got a little monster that we want you guys to make good on a screen. It's like, no, the whole thing is blue screen. It's like all the actors are standing on a giant blue screen. They got to create all these little worlds and universes by scratch, and it's exhausting for a lot of these guys, because that's what every MCU film has become now.
You know what the next logical step is? Get rid of the actors.
Well, but they're working on that. I
mean,
that's
the actors is the next step.
If you read through the last 2 years worth of articles that talk about the VFX houses being leaned on predominantly for like creation of whole cloth, because that's what they're asking them. Please do this action scene where this happens, and this is the end result, and they give them no other direction than that. You don't need the actors anymore. You just need their digital frame, and that's all they're doing. It's what was the film Running Man?
The Running Man.
Yeah, Running Man, where they framed everybody, their digital frame up. That's all they're doing, and it's exactly what they told us they were going to do way back then. It's how things have evolved, and that's how it's going to go in the future.
Now let's make them dance.
And Stunt Brat, real quick, I will take your word for it, dear. I know how long you worked in the industry, and I know how tied you were to stuff. So I'm taking your word for it. Back to baseball real quick. Sean Carter says baseball games got real long. They used to be a lot faster. I agree with that. Some of that's also the fault of television, by the way. Yeah, and this is also true. I mean, I agree. I went to games in the 70s and 80s, so I know this is true. I saw a lot of great baseball players. Paulie and I have talked about it over time. But yeah, the games have been stretched out for a lot of various reasons. But managers and the switches and the changing fielding positions and all that,
yelling at umpires.
The games used to be a lot faster when pitchers actually pitch more than 4 innings. But I don't know when that started to become a thing where we're in the
that's another thing. Relief pitchers, setting up the bullpen, calling the bullpen. You have to do all those, and then you get nowadays. Now there's always an issue with umpires. Management has issues with that. Then there's pinch hitters. Then there's the bunt. Then there's hey, I'm gonna see if I can try to get a full count, and then try to do if I can get walked. There's so many.
And we're a bunch of middle-aged to old men. They're going to start losing audience because of the amount of time it takes to play a game, because none of these kids have an attention span past 5 seconds.
Yeah, well, and that's the other truth too. I mean, they're actually they're losing young people at Marvel films, and this was going to be part of a rant that I was going to do later this week. But consider this: blockbuster films specifically targeted at the grand spectacle of things is always dominated by a male audience. That's no longer true. You're actually losing the male audience. And maybe you were trying to build your female audience, but the problem is the amount of females that you could have gained, you've already reached the apex. You're now losing the men, and that's going to continue to drop your ticket sales across the board. It doesn't matter if I'm paying. Nobody's going to pay $16 for a ticket to go to a B movie. Right? They might pay $8, they might pay $9, but we're going to get worse as far as inflation. The economy is going to get worse over the course of the next year. I'm sorry, that's the truth. You're going to see inflation continue to rise. They already projected it, which means they're going to do another increase in interest rates, which creates this whole circle of damage. Films are going to get more expensive. The problem with spending more money on films is that you're not going to make that money back. You need to get back to logic when all of these things are concerned, which means you need to go back to making the things that were successful the way they were successful. Because there's no way you're going to keep an audience longer to keep them entertained. There's no way you're going to get better at VFX, because you've only been doing more poorly at that recently. And there's no way that you're going to change somebody's attention span, which, again, I hate to say this, but most of the younger generation right now has the attention span of a gnat, which is why TikTok is popular and shorts are popular on YouTube, et cetera, et cetera.
Sorry, what were you saying there, Culture? I missed that. Sorry,
Then they're phasing
you were
out.
not the younger generation, 70s.
They're phasing us out, right? Anybody 30 and older, they're phasing out. You are no longer valuable to them, although you are the last largest.
They still want our money, though.
But you are the last largest portion of population because the two generations behind us had fewer and fewer children. So, and this is true globally in Western countries. You're ending up with fewer and fewer people. So that's fewer people to consume these entertainment products. You are creating your own destruction. It's dumb.
Well, not only that, but the younger crowd in their 20s don't have the kind of disposable income that we have.
Right.
So there's even less to spend. I'm not going to spend it on the really expensive things. I'll stay home and watch it on Netflix or Disney Plus or wherever when it comes out. Because it's free. I don't have to pay for a ticket.
Well, the future is looking bright. I mean, with vaccines, feminism, and the LGBTQ agenda, I mean, all those concerns about population should definitely quell over there.
A lot of them are concerned more about what does their life builds on activism. They somehow are taught that it somehow translates into dollars. Now, there's some things where it does. I'm not going to deny it. But they think it now needs to dominate every aspect of their life. Once again, they've made it an extension of their personality. When you take out their activism, a lot of them don't know who they are without that extension of their personality because they made it like part of the core.
Yep, that's the world that we live in now, and like I said, things are definitely looking up on that front. But yeah, just on a quick little finish on our rant and just how much baseball sucks. All of our sports are pretty much going to crap right now. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys have followed the NBA, but I mean, yeah, it's super political. But just even as a game perspective, like the game is so terrible now. No one plays a lick of defense anymore. I think it was like the Clippers and the Kings score like 140 each in the first 4 quarters. So it's like, okay, we're not even pretending to play defense anymore in this league. And like, what are we even doing here? I think they almost scored like 200 points like the All-Star games. Like, this is just a complete joke from start to bottom. It's like all of our professional sports that are getting these billions of dollars are just all going down the toilet very, very rapidly.
Hey, I used to watch a ton of sports, and just I don't anymore at all.
Yeah.
And for the NHL, they took fighting out, and I loved fighting. And they introduced the salary cap. So I'm a fan of a team, right? And I follow the draft picks. I follow the minor league teams. And I get really excited about all these up-and-coming players. And they become big stars on the team I'm a fan of. And then they want more money. And the team has to trade all of my favorite players away. Year after year after year, they're punished.
Well, that's a decision. That's a conversation we can have for hours about the salary cap. Because
no,
I'm quite a fan of the salary cap, but that's just me.
I don't. Hey, fair enough. I'm sure there's benefits to it too, but it turned me off of hockey.
Because if there was no salary cap, the Toronto Maple Leafs would win the Stanley Cup every year, and they haven't won it since 1967. So I say, keep the salary cap, please.
Yeah.
I think I've watched more Russian hockey this year than American hockey. It's like you have to go overseas to find sports and be like, oh yeah, that looks like something I used to enjoy like 10, 15 years ago.
Well, they still
we watched UFC. We've watched it for years.
Well, I think and again, I mean, the combat sports are making a comeback, right? I mean,
a big boxing championship today in Saudi Arabia.
It was like Jake Paul
the
fight.
Paul fight, yeah.
No, that's not a big.
They would sell a fight to the death if they could get away with it.
But well, that's okay. So gladiator sports, I understand, right? But at a certain point in time, I mean, consider this: football, they're trying to make the game longer, and they're trying to have more of them. Baseball, they're trying to shorten the game and make them, and maybe even have fewer
football
of them.
games. You shorten to.
It's very weird.
When they say 2-minute warning, that means 30 minutes later nowadays.
Oh, dude, basketball was the worst, right? Starting in the 80s, the last 2 minutes of a basketball game was a half an hour. I was like, what the flip happened? But anyway,
and
Jason
hockey's
Sandberg
just trying to increase scoring.
There you go. Jason Sandberg for $2 says racquetball is still based. It is, man. The cardio workout you get from doing racquetball is bananas. So, but thank you for that, my friend.
Analytic nerds need to be shot. That's all I'm saying.
What's happening there?
analytic nerds need to be shot. That's all I'm saying.
I'm okay with most of that, right? You know, and I just want to say thank you for everybody who sent a super chat tonight. You guys are amazing. Thank you for that. And for the 185, 190 of you that are watching at the moment live, thank you for that. And for those of you watching on the replay, thank you for that. Make comments and hit the like button. You guys are.
I think, Jacob, that only 60% of the time analytics nerds should be shot, and only 40% of the time should that be effective.
Don't reply.
Oh man, we do not advocate. We're obviously talking about Minecraft, so it's fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's just
Yes. You know, Jacob, you hit on something really great. And it reminded me of something that 70s had been doing. When you were talking about how you were watching, I think you said Russian hockey. You know, I know 70s been touching on Korean films. And obviously, Paulie.
I've touched a lot of Koreans in my time.
Well, no, but I'm just trying to paint a picture here. Paulie, to my knowledge, is the first one of us within our circle that knew about RRR. I think he knew about like a month or two before the rest of us caught on to that.
A minute.
I wish you were, actually. That would have been fun. But
this is a good question.
Paulie turned me onto it for sure. Yeah.
Turned you on to who?
Well, no, but this is
culture.
We're going
culture.
out of our way to find things that are good, and that's the way. That's the way to go. Is go out and find it, because it's not going to be put in front of us nor as much as it used to be, and that's not a bad thing, because when we start with things, it's gold.
As far as entertainment and sports go, I feel like we're not even making like the best content anymore, and that's a sad setting of affairs.
I think you're right, and again, I'm watching a lot of other stuff, and this is why DAZN network is expanding, and you're seeing a lot of investment in that. And all of that, but DAZN, or however you want to say it. But anyway, Paulie, real quick, I think I want everybody's answer here on the panel. Bryant Barth asks, do you think Brendan Fraser will win Best Actor? I think he's got a better chance than he's ever had.
Yes.
I think they're going to give it to the kid who played Elvis, honestly.
God, why?
I mean, does any other ones really stand out? I mean...
Brendan Fraser.
I don't know. I mean, it's a feel-good story if he wins, but I'm not sure if that role is going to get him the Oscar, though.
The award for Best Actor this year is going to go to Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Yeah. It's the popular move right now, and I love Brendan Fraser, but...
Well, I think look, it's all telling. When we look at, and CC, you're right. When you look at the DGA, the WGA, and the SAG Awards, when you look at those award shows, they kind of set the table for all this stuff. I mean, the safe money is going to be on Brendan Fraser if you're betting.
Well, and you go back to one of the very first film festival screenings of the movie. Fraser gets a 7-minute standing ovation, just himself, and he doesn't know how to handle it. He's like, "What is this?" He's almost completely flummoxed. And he's just like, no, he's trying to be dismissive. The director's pulling him up, standing because Fraser's wanting to sit down and get away from it, right? All of this acclaim, he's not used to it. He's almost breaking down because he's back, but emotionally, it's been such a rough ride for him. He's still processing that he's back and he's successful and people appreciate what he's doing. And this would be the icing on the cake for that.
Yeah,
I think it would be.
I mean, it's political. It's the wave of popularity, but it's also it's a great story.
It is.
Everyone loves it.
This man was written off for. He was done.
You should make a movie about it.
Yes, he could make a movie about his lack of movies. No, I think you're right, Paulie. And again, I think a lot of thing that plays in his favor is the fact that he stuck his finger out and held it high towards the Golden Globes.
Is it my favorite performance? No.
Yeah. No, but I think he's gonna win.
Him and Tom Cruise should team up and do another Mummy movie. That should be great.
You're fired, Jacob. Come on,
awesome. Jacob. I would see that. I would see that.
But he's got to bring the fat suit.
That's right. James Villain.
Sorry, we're not saying fat now, right? What's the new word?
Fat.
I'm still going with fat.
James Villanueva says, "Wow, Cocaine Bear's domestic run surpassed Charlie's Angels' entire theatrical run.
So by inflation standards, probably that means that Cocaine Bear just nailed the mark of where it was at. What in its lifetime? Because let's see, if it was by 6 million, then yeah, that would probably be right in line with today.
That's just bonkers, man. I love it though. You guys are so great. I love it.
Did anybody watch the season finale in 1923?
No, not yet.
Yikes!
I haven't yet.
I'm behind.
I haven't yet. I want to.
Okay, I got this. I got this clip that I want to play.
Speaking of, Sam Elliott won for 1883.
Okay, good.
Love that guy. Love that guy.
A good character.
Oh man, that was brutal.
Hey, if you want to know what my dad looks like, my biological dad, he looks like Sam Elliott.
I'm trying to go for that.
With or without the stash.
Dude, no, my dad's got this killer freaking Fu Manchu salt and pepper mustache. Oh, and it's fat. Like sometimes he even grows the chops, man. Dude's freaking awesome. All right, anyway, dude, both of my dads are incredible human beings. I was blessed with great parentage. Anyway, let's do this. Let's do this clip because this is Polly wanted me to show this. I gotta whip it out for Polly.
Ew.
But you're stuck with a panel of dudes, so you gotta do it for all of us too.
All right, well here we go. So this is from CNN. Thank you, CNN, for that.
Thank you, CNN.
Actor Bryan Cranston explains why he thinks the phrase "Make America Great Again" could possibly be construed as a racist remark. Oh, here we go.
I'm sure this will be riveting.
All right, good time, Charlie. Let's hear what you got to say.
How did we get to a point where we treated other human beings as slaves? And we're okay with that. When I see the "Make America Great Again."
Wow.
Maybe you should ask people who sold the slaves
When I look
that
at
question.
his face there, it makes me really scared when I see someone's face like that.
Ask your grandpa, Brian.
Like, yeah.
He's so intently
That's the right thing. He actually could ask his grandpa. He would probably actually know.
He might have some, you never know. But...
Oh, Mrs. Flu's here. Everybody say hi to Mrs. Flu.
Hi, Mrs. Flu.
Hi, Mrs. Flu.
Okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to keep going on this ridiculousness. There we go. We're only 12 seconds in, by the way.
My comment is, do you accept that could possibly be construed as a racist remark? And most people, a lot of people go, how could that be racist? Make America great again? I said, so just ask yourself from an African-American experience.
He made up this conversation. He never had this conversation. He made this up.
Yeah.
You can see the look in their face. It's the look of indoctrination in the face. It's just
but it's the second time he's done this because he did this with Mar, kind of, not that long ago.
I actually did have this conversation with somebody in real life. They approached me in my truck wearing my MAGA hat and said, that is no different than wearing the Union Jack or a swastika.
And
because
you said, why?
It is completely racist. And I said, it is a political slogan. In what way can that be construed as racism? And devolved into the whole, well, you're just not thinking from my point of view. And it's like, yeah, I don't need to think from your point of view. Because my point of view of what it means is what it means to me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the statement was never meant to be anything other than what it is.
This is where you made a mistake. This is where you should have bought a train horn to put in your car, and then whenever somebody asks you that question, you just honk the horn and watch them scatter away.
Yeah, get that horn that goes.
Yeah,
I don't even care that Bryan Cranston feels this way. I truly mean that. It's just like I can tell he's very ignorant. He's saying this just to put on this TDS thing.
He's not having a discussion. He's delivering a lecture.
He's lying about the conversation.
He's delivering a script because I don't know if you guys are familiar. Body language ghost is a person. I'm looking at this and he's so intense and he's so focused. He's not doing any memory recall or anything. No. So he's talking about a conversation that he had. He should be looking for that conversation in his memory.
Yeah.
He's looking straight at Chris Wallace.
No references.
He's doing this whole intense, trust me, I'm selling this thing, and the look on his face and the leaning forward, and he's all tensed up and everything. This is pure performance.
Jacob.
Well,
Jacob,
keep in mind,
he looks-
5 years ago, this was the same guy who was saying anyone who was rooting for Trump to fail, he basically straight up said "F you." That was only him 5 years ago. So clearly, he's spoken to someone in the last year.
Someone bought him, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can
looks
buy
nothing
actors
like he does on film, though. Which
Well,
is just convincing me that he's a good actor.
Let's
well, you're
remember.
right. Wow. Okay.
Let's also keep in mind. Let's also
He's
keep
got
in mind
a completely
the-
different face, right, than he does in his other roles.
True. Go ahead.
Let's
Paul.
also keep in mind the millions of African Americans and U.S. Latinos that voted for Donald Trump.
Ooh.
And
True.
still are wear those hats and proudly, but it's just like with anything. You go have a conversation with like Brahma or whatnot, and
With like Brahma.
meaning like with someone who wears a hat, whatever. Because I used to think like this, but the point is that it wasn't until I broke bread and you just start listening to people and you're like, oh shit, you're making a lot of sense. Okay.
There's nothing wrong with him having that opinion, but I don't see why he should be invited onto CNN to expound on it at great length.
Dude,
Because they need to reaffirm this point of view. That's why.
First of all, Bryan Cranston doesn't have an African or American or Latino friend to save his fucking life. If he the only people of color he probably comes in contact with are people that, let's be honest, that mow his lawn, that do all the manual labor for his estate.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is a typical celebrity that goes to Mexico and has a tequila company in his name. Fuck this guy.
You mean like
Excuse
people
my
like
language.
Amber Heard?
Excuse my French. Fuck this guy.
People like Amber Heard, where even before the whole Johnny Depp thing, she was all like, "Well, if we get rid of all the Mexicans, who's going to raise our kids and mow our lawns?" You think about that, Trump? That's actually something she said, like legitimately.
That was such
She
an
did say
ignorant
that.
comment.
Yeah.
She
Well,
did.
it's kind of true.
Well,
There's truth to it. There's truth to that.
There is.
There's nothing wrong with those jobs. Well,
no, there is nothing wrong with those jobs. They're necessary. And there's always jobs like that. There is always a demand for it, but it's just the people who like to straight the whole anti-racist this, anti-racist that. They are the biggest racist deep down inside.
Well, they come off incredibly out of touch, ignorant, and you're absolutely right. But
Willing to bet years ago he didn't think this way, but for some reason, since he became successful, he's probably had several meetings and conversations with groups of people who have said, "We need you to represent these ideas."
He was successful. They saw he had an audience.
Struggle sessions, and
that's how you get a hold of someone, because like, okay, this guy's clearly got influence because people loved him in Breaking Bad.
Just
which
as
I
bad
get
if it was the other way.
Malcolm in the middle, like, okay, well, since he has obviously a crowd that loves him, you need to use that, because when people see that you're supporting this particular candidate, they'll by default try to get hopefully more people to sway them towards that, because that's how they use a lot of celebrities, sports players, musicians. It's the game that the left have been playing.
If you want in Hollywood, you got to play the game if you want to be in the club. And
we've made the greatest jump in our development as a country, as a power in the world in the last 100 years. That's not arguable, right? And so when people say it was built on the backs of slavery, I say the modern world that you live in is as far removed from that as you are from a house cat.
Yeah, but they don't want you to believe that. It's like, keep in mind, this is the guy who was promoting critical race theory just a few weeks ago on Mars podcast. And one of the talking points with the whole Proud Family thing is that, well, we still haven't atoned for the sins of slavery after what happened 200 years now, like 150, 200 years. They want you to believe that, no, we're still just as bad now as we were when there were actual slaves in this country. That's what they want you to believe. That's what they want your kids to believe.
The thing about that is, Jacob, is that does that mean that the Egyptians are going to have to atone for the slavery of the slaves that were forced to build the pyramids? Are the Romans going to have to atone for enslaving people when they conquered the known world? African kingdoms that conquered other African kingdoms and enslaved them. The Arab world that enslaved people.
But
see, listen, none of that.
We don't this country because
there are no bloodless.
To me,
Go ahead.
history is these are all great lessons. Like, yes, you know, slavery was bad. This and that. You know, you know, and I think it's great to know our history. But what does that got to do with us now?
Well, it doesn't,
Right.
and you're right. I mean, that's the biggest.
We're all here together. We're all Americans. We come from different backgrounds. But that's what makes us wonderful and yes, great.
When does the statute of limitations expire on the crimes committed by ancestors?
I don't know, but we've got tens of thousands of years of slavery in our history, folks. I do know that Sam Adams is correct. There was an Avengers for Biden campaign, which I thought was ridiculous. Thank you for that, Sam. I appreciate you.
Right. Who's the guy didn't show up?
Pratt.
That's right.
Right. That's one of the reasons they went after Pratt. Yeah. See, my family were serfs in Europe until 1848. Yeah, and this is the weirdest thing, right? It's like, I mean, Michael Gonzalez correctly, and I can't find the comment in the chat. I just went looking for it, but he said, you know, the Brits started to eliminate this in the 1700s. So did America. In 1777, the United States has already started to make inroads into eliminating slavery from the way we did business. Right, because I mean, people recognize we can't really do this to other human beings. It's kind of against our whole idea of liberty. It took us a freaking almost 100 years to get the first part of that thing done, and then it took too long for a certain party to allow things to move forward as far as civil rights go. And I'm not going to get into that conversation. I want to finish this, but I really truly appreciate this. And for those of you joining us from Comics Division channels, thank you for joining us, my friends.
Hey.
Yes, 1820s. There you go. And that was when we actually fully eliminated slavery. But we'll get into that discussion another time.
Yeah,
that's a whole other discussion.
Yeah, I want to talk
the
about
Irish
this
slave trade was arguably just as bad.
Oh no, wait.
It was pretty bad.
To this very day,
Guys, we are very creative at, you know, doing horrible things to each other.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I mean, look, we nuked Japan, and they're not as nearly as mad.
Can we stop? Can we stop with it? You know, I'm doing a little homework on this new TV show, and I brought it up in one of this guy's articles, the producer of this new show, where he actually says, "Look, you know, people forget that the Incas and the Aztecs did some bloody shit to each other."
Oh yeah,
right.
This is a Latino TV producer.
Tribes have always attacked tribes. Nothing's
well, they were kingdoms too. They weren't just tribes.
Right. Well, yeah, sure, but I mean, I'm just saying there is no civilization on.
Kings.
There is no civilization.
Wow, well tied, Paulie. That was well tied.
There is no civilization on this planet.
The only people that deserve to be suppressed are the Welsh.
Oh, I gotta suppress your ass.
There's no civilization on this planet. There's no civilization on this planet that is bloodless. Sorry.
That's correct.
It's just okay. So real quick, let's get through this because I just think this is funny because I think Clay called it out and said, "Look at his face." He's like, "Oh man, really?"
He's so upset. Yeah, he's like,
I left Fox for this.
Yes. Yeah. Oh man, what a bad call, right? They brought him over for CNN Plus.
That whole Trump debate from a few years ago backfired on him pretty bad.
Oh, he's a dumbass. Anyway, here we go.
I wish some of these guys would come and let me interview them. You know what I would say?
He'd have to go off script. He doesn't know how to go off script.
Oh God.
Well, here's the weird thing. So
I just pay your maid. How much do you pay your maid, Brian? How much do you pay your maid?
Oh God, jeez. You know what? We need to have that conversation someday. I'm gonna. You know what? I got a member stream Tuesday. I'm gonna. Or is it Tuesday? Yeah,
Tuesday,
I have a member stream Tuesday. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a tiny little bit of background in my life. I never do that, but you guys will get for those of you who are members, you're gonna get a little treat. I'm gonna talk about it. So here we go.
Ever great in America for the African American?
Bullshit.
Great. So if you're,
do you realize?
How would he know?
Do you realize there was a point in time where black-owned businesses, home ownership, and all of that was greater than it was?
There was a time where the black man was leading the way in the nuclear family.
Boom. Exactly.
Yeah,
that's
about
all been
70
stripped
years ago.
away. Yeah. Yeah. So I keep going.
For making it great again, it's not including them. So
Well, how does he know that?
Because a lot of great guitar players were black men. A lot of great sports players, black men. Great boxers, black men. So yeah, it would absolutely include them and then some.
Dempsey, once you interact with an NPC, they have to get their whole spiel out before you can do anything.
Can you rewind what he just said? I'm like, I'm just like speechless at some of the shit that's coming out of this guy's mouth, and it's so sad because it's Bryan Cranston.
I know. You have to click past, dude. I feel like this is like he's literally a video game right now. This dude is just a video game. Okay.
So if you're making it great again, it's not including them.
How does he
teach
know?
us in the woke world to open up and accept the
Wait, what did he say?
In the woke world.
He said the woke world to open up. Yeah, in the woke world,
God.
all they do is eat each other. Which one is it? Do you accept each other, or do you eat each other? You can't have it both ways with that. Literally.
You know, it's a religion, guys. It really is.
It is a religion.
It really is.
It's not only
Sum
that,
it up,
but look,
Paulie.
the whole purpose of critical race theory is this: is that certain people found out a long time ago that, you know what, war isn't exactly a good way to get people to surrender their rights because they tend to fight back. So let's convince them to give up their rights willingly. If we teach them that the founding of everything that their natural born God-given rights are based upon is evil and bad, then they'll believe that it's evil and bad. That way, when we go to take it away from them, then it's like, oh yeah, no, I don't want my First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, 14th Amendment, and all those other things, rights, because hey, everything was built on slavery, right? So why should we have those? Because those are bad.
I think people like Bryan Cranston should be the first to pay reparations. I'd say 99% of their wealth should be taken from them.
I'm with you. The minute you call for the minute you call for reparations, you're going to give away 99% of your shit. I think that should be the rule.
But let him be first. Let him go first.
Let's be honest. In the day-to-day of this man's life, of what he encounters, has nothing to do with the Los Angeles that I live and breathe in.
No.
The millions of us that are fucking regular people.
Yeah.
You know, this guy lives in a fantasy. And the fantasy is what he's talking about.
But he also thinks he's an intellectual.
It's just, what's that?
He thinks he's an intellectual revolutionary as well.
What?
He believes he's an intellectual revolutionary. He's one of the elite intellectuals that will be guiding the rest of us when his revolution comes. Well, I'm sorry, Brian, you're not.
No.
Hey guys, you know what slavery, capitalism is like? Oh, that's such an original thought.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did you come up with that yourself, Brian? Okay, get rid of your money then, Brian. Give it to all of us.
Yeah,
give up your
away,
phone. Give
first.
up your cars. Give up your gated community that you probably hide in. Give up all your security. If that's what you're for, hey, commit to your cause, man.
Lead by example.
I'd actually respect if he committed to his cause.
Lead by example.
He won't do that.
Like I said, all these guys will call for it, but they'll never be the first ones to sign up. Like James Cameron talking about, Thanos is right. We need to get rid of half the people on this planet. Okay, you first. How about that? Why don't you do your part?
Well, again,
people say burn it all down. Okay, where's your address?
And that's fun because I think it was funny because I think it for whatever flip-floppy I think Jordan Peterson's been doing recently, he's recently said basically if you're one of these people calling for this, you have an option. You can help out. Yeah. I was like, oh crap, dude, you're a psychologist. What are you doing there? But Paulie, you were on a rant, dude.
Sorry, Paulie.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
No, I mean, this is heightened hypocrisy. This is fantasy land, and in where he probably lives is probably one of the most wealthiest secured
he lives
places
with the other
world.
Revolutionaries, yes, the other Marxist intellectuals.
That people of color, let's be honest, sustain their fantasies.
Yeah.
The physical labor, right? The heavy lifting of society. right? There's regular society, which happens anyways, but then there's theirs. It's, who the fuck do you think does all the work? I'm talking about, to make everything look pretty in this fantasy world.
Paulie, he probably also, I mean, people like Brian Cranston look down on people the people you're talking about, ordinary people of all different backgrounds. They look down on them because they believe they need a white privileged person like him to help them. They're not capable of making it on their own. They need a Brian Cranston to help them and fight for them. Bullshit.
It's like
Someone said earlier about
with this being a religion, they got to have a Satan. They have to have a boogeyman. They have to have a bad guy, and
there's no cause to fight for that. No, you're right, Jason. Because if they don't have it, it makes their cause meaningless.
Yeah, and if there's any acknowledgement that there's any improvement, or if there was better times in the past, that destroys their argument. It destroys their issue. They can't run political campaigns on it. They can't sit there and say, well, we'll fight for you. Well, I had it better 10 years ago. We had it better 3 generations ago. What did you do to help it now?
And Jason, that is why they will never actually succeed in completing their cause, because if they actually, let's just say, succeed in their cause, then they have nothing to fight for. And like, oh, well, what do we do? So that's why they talk about racism. They don't want to actually solve it. They just want to talk about solving it. Because if they actually solve it, then you get rid of all these fake jobs, all these fake organizations, all these dumb activism groups. They all gotta get paid.
Right. But okay, so what you're describing is something called wedge issues, right? And this is how the political parties have functioned since the Clinton administration, right? Because of Dick Morris. And again, Dick Morris has worked for both sides of the aisle, folks. I'm not calling out one party or the other. Just understand this is where it originated primarily. This is where it got exacerbated is probably the better term. And again, it is no political party's fault. So don't go after me for that. What I'm telling you is that each of the parties is now going to stand upon these wedge issues as part of their planks and their platform, right? When they lay out their stuff, they're perfectly happy with the divide. And this is why it always has bothered me, because there is more that unites us than divides us. I have lived my entire life in a unified world, right? It's only in the last 7 to 10 years where there's been situations where I put in this really strange divide that never existed before. And now it's so crazy. And I think a lot of people on this panel can say the same thing. I've been separated from friends and family members because they are so ideologically hell-bent on whatever their opinion is that was told to them by the mainstream that they cannot accept. You've been lied to when it comes to basic things like where something originated from, which has been a topic of conversation all weekend. I'm not going to dive into that on my channel, but I'm going to say this. I'm incredibly frustrated with this, because this is the worst possible time for any nation to be divided, and we are in the midst of a potential conflagration, the likes of which none of us could possibly imagine. And it could happen because there is one particular country that's at the brink of an existential crisis, and hence they took the last action they could possibly do to secure the last element of border that they considered would leave them open to other countries. And instead of doing that from a position of peace, they decided to do it from a position of aggression. And all of this can be walked back to the point where nobody feels challenged. But that's not where we're at. And that is ultimately why there's a lot of money going places it shouldn't go. There's a lot of money being laundered in situations I really am frustrated about. But the hypocrisy is the thing that bothers me, which is why I've left Sam's comment on the screen the entire time.
Yeah.
Remember, these elites had police guarding the Oscars building from the homeless. Not only
they
that,
claim to love. Yes.
Paulie, wasn't it 2 Oscars ago where they actually cleared out that entire area so they could have the Oscars?
They do it all the time.
Yeah, that happens with every convention too.
There's very few of these of these celebrities that will actually venture and feel comfortable going to different parts of the city maybe if it's for a charity or just to hang out if they're invited. I mean, you get Cranston or any of these guys to go hang out and have a meal in East LA, walk or shoot or whatever. If it's not a public event, if the cameras aren't on them, boy, they'll go there. They'll get so sweaty
with his armed security too. He'd have his armed security with him too.
Yeah, they're just it's a disconnect within the bubble of Los Angeles. Everyone's like, oh, the Los Angeles is a bubble, or it's this. It's like, yeah, the politicians are terrible, but the reality is there's a lot of great hardworking people here, a lot of families, a lot of people, here, and I'm just sick of these idiots they've just ruined so much for so many good people. But
well, and those
even my lady who works her ass off.
By the way, how did you end up with such a premium and wonderfully attractive and gracious person? How did that happen?
Man, my sobriety.
Good for you, brother. Good for you.
Those hardworking people you're talking about, Paulie, we're being divided by the global elites who want us to categorize ourselves into different, colors and genders and blah blah blah. When the real struggle, that's so behind cover of that they can make things harder for the working people that are striving to get ahead by taking more of their money in taxes and wasting it and things. I mean, it's divide and conquer. It's bait and switch. The global elites are the issue, not us fighting amongst ourselves.
But see, it's elucidating. It's elucidating that, Brian. It's elucidating that so that and illuminating it to the world to show everybody that this is happening to do this, but it has nothing to do with the plight that everybody that you're surrounded by is suffering. We're in this country. We are handing out money to others when we are in desperate need ourselves, which makes no sense. I mean, if you look at it, like if you have any sense of national pride, and I'm not talking about nationalism, I'm talking about if you have any sense of community,
civic pride,
right? Yeah, civic pride. Indeed, yeah, that's probably a better way to describe it. If you have any of that in your nature, it's being overwhelmed by a globalist mindset that does not work in your country's best interest, which is how your country is supposed to function, and all the countries of the world. China doesn't operate.
That makes me wonder: do the public schools have citizenship awards anymore?
No, they don't even teach civics. They don't even teach proper civics anymore,
or history, or any. They don't teach political civics, as you're saying. They don't teach them about any of that. They do teach them how to identify themselves as various groups so that they can blame somebody for their problems.
They set you on each other, right? They set us on particular groups, right? They set people opposed to each other. Like, well, that person lives in that country, and those people do these extreme activities, and therefore whatever, right? And I'm tired of that.
Yeah, I shared the video right too because it was like
no, dude, he pissed me off so bad I had to take it off.
It's comedy, and yet it says everything, right?
It does, and doesn't it demonstrate how easily he's swayed or bought off or whatever terms.
It's comedy because it's almost like this could have been in a movie like 10, 20 years ago. Bryan Cranston speaks for black people,
well, that's it. This is what I'm trying inexpertly to say.
We've had a few good movies where art has imitated life. Let's see, Idiocracy, Escape from New York. So I mean,
Cocaine Bear.
I'm ready. I'm waiting for Red Dawn to come around and.
They live.
But it is.
It's going to be Pink Dawn now. Not Red
Dawn. Very much. Or Rainbow Dawn. It's Rainbow Dawn. But anyway, no. I speak all the time about unity, right? For a lot of because I come from the background that I come from. But we have somebody in our chat. Your Muslim uncle for $9.99. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. I do appreciate that. Thank you. That's extraordinary. Says slavery was hundreds of years ago and Jim Crow wasn't. Yeah, that didn't last all that long, folks. Hollywood seems to be just getting over it, which is weird because it's a long freaking time ago. None of us were alive. Anyway, I'm not gonna. And making things worse. This is true. We need to accept and heal, but how? When division and complaints make money.
Especially funneling money to the elites, yes.
Well, and ultimately, it's for those of us here, it's a zero-sum game, however you want to do that particular quote. But for those in power, you just angle yourself for the best possible position, which is why the extraordinary luck of certain politicians when it comes to investments is almost.
I mean, the irony of watching like the Proud Family, and you have a bunch of like 10-year-old cartoon characters talking about how we need to do more because of slavery. It's like, you understand by the time you guys were born that MTV had stopped playing music for at least 25 years. You're trying to make an argument, like you're trying to make the argument for slavery in America. Like, really?
No, don't worry. The slavery was solved because they got rid of Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. So that solved everything.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Dude, I have not touched that syrup since then.
Jamie.
I've not touched it.
Yeah,
they raised diversity for that shit.
Yeah.
That was
Aunt
my
Jemima
syrup.
is still on the bottle in other countries.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I've heard some people where they buy the new bottle and they just pour it into the old bottle. I'm
Dude,
like, oh.
I still have. Okay, so I'm weird, right? Because I really liked the Land O'Lakes butter thing, right?
Before you talk about the lakes, I think Paulie has to go.
Oh,
and they can talk about the Land
no.
O'Lakes.
Well, we're not gonna be here forever. But
Yeah.
Paulie, I have a clip for you. Okay, can I play it before you go?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. This is sponsored by and asked for by my friend Paulie. Thank you, Paulie.
Aren't you glad we kept you around so you can see that?
Thank you, Paulie, for inspiring me to make that happen.
If you didn't have insomnia before, Paulie, you will now.
Yeah, I think that one chick with the impressive tattoo in the back. I think I dated her. So Gary looked hot. I did get a little chubby there towards the end. So that was But yeah, I guess Gary has a Latina body.
He does, really, doesn't he? Yeah.
So that's equity.
I think everybody was impressed. Bush is going to tell Gary. Oh boy. All right.
guys.
So yes, and Gary does have an OnlyFans now. It's only Gary. Yeah. Gary is hot. Please, Paulie, tell everybody how amazing you are, because we all know it's true.
Good seeing all you guys on the panel. Love hanging out with you guys. And
love you, brother.
See you guys. I'm like starting to lose it.
Tell Romy we love her too.
Can't stop thinking about that video.
Yep.
Oh my God, what was that? Well,
That was me giving you a stream deck, Paulie.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep, brothers. Tuesday I'll be live, Mr. H, and I'll be live after that. And come check us out. Let's have some fun. Much love to everyone in the chat.
Paulie.
Everyone on the
seeing
panel except for that Scottish ass.
I'm Canadian.
Come on.
Get it right. You just miscountryed me. You just misnationalized
Oh
me.
yeah, that's a problem now.
That's a big problem.
You might
yeah.
get canceled.
You'll be
That's
hearing from my
patriarchy.
non-lawyer that I don't have and can't afford.
Or maybe you won't be able to cancel a check. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
but
don't confuse anyone with Canadian. I mean,
Canadian money is not
Canadians
worth
higher.
anything.
It's like $1 Canadian
nothing but
worth
cash.
like half a
Gary's
Coca-Cola cap.
Latinx. Your Canadian ex.
Something
Sorry.
about that form, yeah. Eliza Nerdrotic, thank you, Tina. Yeah,
Oh shit.
these guys are on fire in the chat.
Eliza Roddick.
Eliza Roddick. All right. I
Uh,
gotta go.
Bye,
Night, guys.
Paulie. Love you, man.
There's Paulie.
Say hi to your lovely bride. Oh, he's gone. Everybody's a little upset. It's like, oh my gee. Sorry,
I
folks.
can't ever forget those images. They're
Good,
burned in my
because-
brain
because
forever.
I
I'm
don't
like,
think
come
they were
on.
meant for you to forget.
Normally that would have been like an intermission between like the ending credit thing that we do at the end of the show where we don't actually end. We just like do like
A cold
Little-
end.
a little bit. But yeah. Gary blew everybody. Oh no.
Yeah, I mean that and the Nick one earlier, it does start to get us questioning things. Question we have to examine our sexuality, I think.
Oh wait, you guys watch Venture Brothers. Now dub his voice over one of Dr. Girlfriend's. Whoa, there you go.
Sex Sean's. What the like Irish sex thing? Sex
My
Sean's?
wild Irish Sean, I guess. I don't know. Well, hello, Houston. Hello. Culture. There was also a Frito Bandito commercial in the 70s. Oh, I love that one. Frito Bandito.
Oh, he's Paulie's gone though. He can't answer.
I know.
I just bought a bunch of Fritos so I could do some chili pie.
Yeah, we lost our Latinx representation. I don't know what we're gonna do about that.
Big on the X as well.
I somebody asked me why what's his name? Marky Mark was trending. I don't know.
Because he went and did an interview after Ash Wednesday with the ash on his forehead and was talking about his faith, which is
that's
somewhat
a no-no.
unusual for an actor.
Well, I have to say that I appreciate that he stands by his faith. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 30 Shades Scary, yes, anonymous gamer. Yep. I'm blind because I can't believe this. Tina says I'm blind because I poked my peepers out. E-Clay says I qualify for PTSD. Listen to you guys. It was fun. Culture identifies as Latinx sometimes. Well, not always. Sometimes.
Culture,
It
are you making plans, alternate media plans for when Gary decides to ban you from all social media because of that video?
Yeah, Gary loves me. I love Gary.
They
But
had
not
dinner
in the
together.
biblical sense. Though.
We have a weird relationship. We have a weird. Look, I want to talk about this before we end. Dang it! I thought we were going to talk about a lot more stuff, but we had a great conversation, and we're going to continue to do more. Let's talk about pop music. Oh wait, no, that's a different song.
Talk about
this.
pop music.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania plummets 69 for 69. I mean 69% to 32 million in its second weekend. Now, this number's not right. And I think my friend Nick Weiser here would say this is probably going to be around 71, 72% in all by the time we figure this stuff out on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think? Do you think this is, well, first of all, this is the biggest collapse of a Marvel film ever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, real quick, I'm not sure if you mentioned this, but what we were saying earlier, so the lowest performing MCU film last year was Thor: Love and Thunder, which made about 767 worldwide. So after 2 weeks, that film did about $500 million worldwide at the box office. So this film is about $135 million off that mark, which means that it's on pace to barely hit about 600 million when it's all said and done, but it can go even lower than that, which would be a massive disaster for Disney and the MCU. So yeah, this one definitely has some panic. And like we were saying before, they needed this one to be big because what has been the hype about this entire film ever since this came out? Oh, Kang, guys, Kang's in the movie. You guys love Kang, right? Kang is awesome. Kang's gonna be the best thing ever, right?
Well, I saw, and I can't remember where I saw it now, but apparently somebody connected with the movie. One of the producers or maybe the director. Somebody had said that the box office is going to be what it's going to be, and the priority is this sets up Kang, and it's not even about how it does money wise anymore. I mean, the numbers has it at a 70% drop. And here we are all, we're talking about it, and all of us in the YouTube space and all, the alternative media, we're all talking about the box office,
right?
And the trades are sitting there going, "Oh, it sets up Kang, it sets up Phase 5 and all this." Like,
yeah, for Disney Plus.
Yeah,
I think the thing we need to learn from this is that just because they want to prop up Kang and prop up Jonathan Majors doesn't mean that it's going to directly translate. Like, yeah, sure, it seems like some people tend to like Kang in this movie, even if they don't like the movie itself. But ultimately, the audience is going to decide if this character is the big hype. And it seems like the movie industry is trying to more so decide that for us. And it's just like, and here's the thing with Kang the Conqueror. I've read a lot of comic books. Even good writers have had a struggle writing Kang. And in the history of the Conqueror, he's probably been a B villain at best. He doesn't have any arc like the Infinity Gauntlet. He has the Kang Dynasty. Like, there's a few stories, but there's nothing that's like in the seminal like legacy of, if you had to read the most essential Avenger stories, he's gonna come up with one that maybe you could maybe make a good top 5 Kang stories. Sure, you could.
Well, and the stuff that I'm hearing about Jonathan Majors, I hear good stuff about his performance in other movies. There was that World War II movie that he's in. What's it?
Devotion. I've heard that too.
Devotion was very, very good.
Job in that. So.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because here's the other problem. They're really trying to hype the hell out of Jonathan Majors, but here's the problem. Like, he's not returning any kind of box office receipts whatsoever. That Devotion movie that came out last year, it had a budget of $90 million. It only made $22 million at the box office. Ant-Man and the Wasp, this one's looking to bomb pretty hard with all the money in production and marketing going into that film. Then you got Creed 3, which is coming out this week, and I think they already announced when it's coming out on HBO Max, meaning that they're going to quickly give up on a theatrical release for this movie. So that film might bomb too. So, I mean, you're talking about a guy who you're putting all your eggs into one basket. He's going to have like 3 massive bombs back to back to back. That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. These numbers don't, they don't surprise me. I feel bad for Rudd, because I genuinely like Rudd. And I feel bad for Evangeline Lilly, because she was one of those who stood up to cancel culture in the past couple of years. But that's not going to save a movie.
She didn't back away from it.
Yeah, so I wanted good things for them, but I mean, it's not a good movie. I did not enjoy it at all.
Well, they are not making with this third movie. It wasn't even a sequel to Ant-Man and the Wasp. If from what I've talked to everyone, it's more of a sequel to the first season of Loki, and that's a problem, because no matter how much you feel about the first 2 movies, at least you can say the second movie follows up the first movie, and of course acknowledges stuff from Civil War as well. But it's more so a sequel to the first movie. Now we're just saying, oh, hey, you need to watch this other show in order to understand this movie. The accessibility is not there. It's like, if anything, Loki should have been a bonus you benefited from, not you have to have this involved, because now it takes away from Scott Lang's story.
You're right, and that's kind of what I wanted to say, Nick, because you're 100% right on all those points, except that here's the weird thing. It's a freaking circle jerk, because it turns everything back around so that you have to now watch Loki again. Because guess what? One of the end credit scenes was, Nick?
Loki.
Oh, man. I couldn't believe it.
It's all connected.
I know, and I'm like, you can't give the audience homework. You dropped 19 projects on them in Phase 4. None of them were well received outside of Spider-Man No Way Home, and that was like basically Sony.
Spider-Man again.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Finish.
No, please.
No, you
go.
finish.
No.
Because it'd be one thing if the shows were translating and they had a good vehicle set up potentially to get it right. But once you saw how they fumbled at the end with WandaVision, you're like, okay, well, now you realize these shows are officially meaningless because they had all the dominoes set in place perfectly for that to be a successful show. And they decided to do a big turnaround at the last minute, not only taking out Doctor Strange, making Quicksilver not Quicksilver, and on top of it, making Wanda Maximoff's character a straight up villain rather than having someone like Anthony Harkness controller. So you saw the beginning of all the fumbles that were to come with the TV. That's when you realize from that show on that the TV shows just don't matter.
Well, to be fair, on WandaVision, a lot of us saw them setting up House of M. And Wanda has been a villain in the comics.
Even if that's true, Jason, there's a problem there. That literally makes her character arc a 360 because she started as a villain in Age of Ultron. Then she walked out of the room after having that speech with Hawkeye, and we said, "You walk out of this room, you are an Avenger." She chose her side. She had translated to that point. Now she's going not only right back to where she started, she's worse off than she was in the beginning when she jumped into the MCU.
But that was her
so
arc.
Basically, her arc is just as pointless as the Mandalorian season 2's ending.
Okay, but real quick, this is a good point from Cynthia. They didn't finish out a good arc for Ant-Man and Wasp characters. And the thing that bothered me is the thing that it shouldn't have, which is that Luis wasn't there, because I'm not a Pena as a person fan. As an actor in this role, I am. So I was disappointed. Like, because he's like this really weird version of like a based comedic relief, right? Because he just has this singular worldview, and he's funny when he does it. And it
was almost like the narration for the first movie,
kind of. But here's the thing: I hated the way the film opened up with Scott narrating and doing exposition, and I hated the way this film ended with Scott narrating and doing exposition.
Right back to normal.
Yeah, I flippin' hated all of that. And what I also hated was the fact that there was so much exposition throughout this entire film. It was all tell, not show, despite the fact that they wasted an awful lot of money on visual effects that were muddy, not properly blended. None of the CGI shots were properly composited. There were defects everywhere. And I'm like, you spent $200 million on this? And this is what we get. Yeah, easily. And then, of course, Eric Kaysen's a $5 super chat. And this looks like it's for you, Jacob says. Jacob and panel. Quantumania is the best Phase 5 Marvel movie.
I'm going to say something controversial here. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. There hasn't been a single good Disney Plus MCU show to date. Like, there's been, 8 of them so far? I think the only one I didn't outright hate was Hawkeye. And that's a very low bar.
Nothing controversial about that, Jacob.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the sad part too. They had a good premise with Hawkeye.
Okay, so I'm almost done completely with anything from Disney. Okay, and I mean, I was done with pretty much. No. I mean, absent having to see stuff because people ask me to see it so I can give them my thoughts, I'm not doing it anymore. My free access to Disney Plus, I have gotten rid of. All the things that allowed me to do some of the things I used to do is gone. If I go see a film, it's only because I've been asked by multiple people to go see it. I have zero incentive to pursue any of these things because I don't have an interest anymore. There's nothing there for me. There's nothing there for the audience. And that is the whole point of Ant-Man, this latest Ant-Man thing.
The real tragedy here is that thanks to all the pushbacks for the Disney Plus projects, we're not going to get Echo, the deaf, one-legged Native American, possibly lesbian superhero series that's now been pushed back.
Taskmaster Bullseye ripoff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a real shame.
Which is fine, but they did that handicap for the Hawkeye show. She wasn't like that in the books, and her character just looks like freaking like a plain Jane.
Well, she is being a lesbian.
Well, the actress literally has never acted in any major role whatsoever up until Echo.
Well, and that'd be fine if she actually were good.
Yeah, but the character is deaf in the comics.
Deaf,
no,
yes,
it's
but
fine.
not without the leg.
Okay. And you reintroduced. Okay, so you're introducing things in books and series that failed. This is the thing that bothers me the most. You jumped to the end where shit failed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm cursing on my channel, so I'm a little bit passionate about this, but none of these books that they're pulling from now, none of these storylines they're pulling from now, none of these characters they're pulling from now were popular. You know, when you had to run inside of 2 years, this was not a good book. You didn't do good.
Yeah, but you know who's in charge now? Victoria Alonso, the one who defended all of those terrible comic books over the last 10 years. So she's not going to
the same one who calls the X-Men the mutants.
Yeah, she's a dump truck. But
I think it's telling though that Marvel Comics is getting Jonathan Hickman and Brian Hitch to bring back the Ultimate Universe, at least for a miniseries. But it's coming back.
Yeah, no, but
Here's
you
that's
don't want that.
Out, Jason.
Jason, come on, dude. You don't want that.
I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying it's a thing.
Okay, well, here's
they're recycling ideas again.
No. Well, that's all they got. This is okay. So today, if you watch today's video that I released tonight, I released it at 5 p.m. Okay, wait, 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Central, and 7 Eastern. Anyway, I released a video today, and it says exactly that. That look, maybe it's a good thing that they suck so hard. Maybe it's you know, it's good for us to realize, and for the rest of their audience to realize just how bad all of this is. They have no creativity. I say it in the video. If I say that, if Nick says that, if Jason says that, if Brahma says that, if Jacob says that, if Cece says that, even if, well, that Canadian, Australian, what are you? Scott person?
I won't.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that Disney made such a divisive film as Ant-Man and the White Anglo-Saxon Protestant. I think that's just awful.
No, I agree with you, but I know this. Boosh McFadden is on point here. They made a super hot chick ugly, and they reduced her screen time.
I'm still pretty sure that's because she stood up against the thing that shall not be named. I think that was her penitence.
Punishment.
Well, and again, Lisa says, I agree. They uglified her. They did. They spent extra time making. That is the worst pixie. First of all, I'm not a fan of pixie haircuts. Ladies, if you like short hair, it's fine. Most dudes, not into that, but it's fine. And as you get older, sometimes they're cute. Hard to do, but well done if you can. All I have to say is, don't do what they did to her and make her look like they did. Like, you know, she was in V for Vendetta. That's kind of what they did to Evangeline Lilly, and it wasn't good. Okay. Yeah. And again, I'm not saying all pixie cuts are bad because some of them are really cute, but that's not her hairstyle. And you wrecked her, you know, and you did worse than that by you plain Janed her down. And I don't know if that was because they were trying to improve Michelle Pfeiffer's appearance which let me tell you, you didn't need to improve. Michelle Pfeiffer, still smoking, right? You know, and she
looks better at her age than Madonna.
Oh God, well that's a very
everybody
low bar,
does.
Dude.
I look better than Madonna.
Yeah, I'm like,
I agree.
Put that limbo bar on the ground, bro. I mean, I'm sorry. Wow.
Pfeiffer is one of the best aging women of all time.
Who now? Who now?
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh yeah.
Pfeiffer.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you said Michelle Pfizer.
If you want to see some great Evangeline Lilly, go check out the interviews she did with Craig Ferguson on his old show here on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
The 4 appearances, she's beautiful in every single one of them.
Oh, speaking of suffering from internet gas, the new Warriors. I still don't have my book, Amazon. You flippers! I paid in advance for that thing. Where's my book? Okay, anyway. I'm frustrated. Can you tell?
A little bit.
Nope.
This particular film, and I'm going to bring it up.
Here's another.
Oh wait, what is this, Jason? Oh, there you go.
We're talking about pixie cuts, right? So this is Nicole DeBoer,
right,
as Esri Dax. Now, this is Nicole DeBoer as Mirror Universe Esri Dax. Nice. And we just saw this episode here not too long ago, and I thought, I like this haircut much better.
Me too.
Than this one.
Yeah.
But they're still, either one of them, they're still cute. And,
she's cute. She's cute in both. I'm saying it's really hard to make there's only certain people that can make a pixie cut work. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
But what they did to
Most
eventually
dudes can
Lily
pull
is
it off.
just travesty.
Mephisto's like, I'm calling Bazos right now. I'll sort you out. Thank you, Mephisto. I want my book. I want to show everybody internet. Oh God, what a terrible comic idea.
Somebody clip that.
But I was going to make one more point about Ant-Man. This is the reason why they're failing so badly with the MCU, especially in Phase 4, Phase 5. We're almost 4 years removed from Endgame, and we're only just now introducing Kang. Like they absolutely have no plan whatsoever with the future. And then the guy who wrote this movie, who I guess is going to be the writer of the Kang Dynasty, just pretty much admitted that, oh yeah, we're still figuring out what we're going to do with the Kang Dynasty Avengers film that's supposed to come out in 2 years, because they don't have a plan yet. They're talking to Jonathan Majors, be like, hey, so what do you want to do with the movie? It's like, you guys still haven't figured out this movie yet. You've announced it like a year ago. It's supposed to come out in like 3 years, and you have no plan going into this. Like at this point, we don't even have an Avengers team to care about them going up against Kang in 2 years to begin with. Who's going to be on this team?
A-Force.
And aren't there supposed to be two Avengers movies in like 3 months?
Yeah. And how's Kang gonna be a threat when he's already died twice with his He Who Remains?
He's going to die a lot.
And now with Ant-Man, he doesn't feel like a threat.
Yeah, then someone was saying, oh, they'll just beat a new variant of Kang for like every project. And then who's going to care about Kang if he's just going to keep losing at the end of every movie? Then it's, oh, don't worry. In the Avengers one, he's going to be real serious then.
Oh, wait. Okay. You're right. I have no interest in these films. I just got done with the whole thing. I think I'm not the only one. Nobody's going to go see this shit. I just cursed again. I'm frustrated. I know this.
It's your late night show. You always cuss.
I know this. I'm gonna do what Peter Venkman's fan site wants me to do. Golden brushes. Okay, here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm not counting anymore.
7.
Okay. 30's a lot for
how
me
many
being
brushes
so
does
long.
Does it take to get to the center of a narcissist?
Wow! Oh! Hey, these are my friends. These are my friends.
Just think of the static electricity being generated. You could be like a renewable energy source with that.
A nubile energy source.
A renewable.
Dempsey put something in the chat that I thought was interesting. Oh, here it is. Halle Berry, short hair, smash, dude. Halle Berry's one of the hottest women on the planet, and I don't care what length her hair is. She is amazing. Short hair, she was great. Did you guys see Swordfish?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Saw a lot of her in Swordfish.
Well, okay, separate yourself from the skin.
Swordfish.
Yeah, and just say
phrasing. Don't clip that.
She's
somebody
always
separated from her skin would look a little odd, though.
Oh, that is not what I said. Why?
She looked good.
I run a family show. All right.
No, you don't. It's
with the Dix division, anything but a family show.
B. Baker says what I think a lot of people are thinking. Marvel's dead to me. Yeah. I love this. This is one of my favorite quotes. I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it.
I have to wonder how long Kevin Feige is going to last.
No,
whether it's his decision to leave because Victoria Alonso is in charge.
Oh, she wants that. She wants.
I argue she's already in charge.
Yeah,
I have to wonder if he's already checked out.
Oh, checked out indeed. He thought look. If you've been told you're great for so long, eventually you believe your farts don't stink. Yep. And he's well past that, overdue date. But Tina Guzman's right. Our culture entertainment industry doesn't allow for women to age naturally. I have to tell you, I always thought Jamie Lee Curtis, as she aged, perfectly fine. Right?
Yeah.
Helen Mirren. I mean, I have a whole list of, smash of the older lady persuasion. So, yes.
Hey, 70 can be smoking hot. Not always.
No, that's true.
It's not that we don't allow women to age naturally. It's just that the biggest narcissist you are, then you're just more obsessed with your looks, and then you end up looking like someone who's actively dying from a shellfish allergy, like Madonna. So,
I worry about her.
Someone asked you.
Who asked me that?
Someone
Where
has
is
to
that?
worry about her, I think is what he said.
I mean, Madonna was a very talented musician.
No, I dispute that.
She was a
entirely.
talented marketer.
Talented marketer. She's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and my question is always why.
Yeah, she
She's
was
not
talented,
rock and
but it
roll.
wasn't for music.
She's not rock and roll, so why is she in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
No.
Well, half of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame isn't made of rock and roll.
That's right, yeah. But putting her in it was
Didn't they put Dolly
nail in the
Parton in there?
coffin.
I mean, they're putting rappers in there now. So
Yeah,
who
they put
cares?
rappers in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That I
so-
can almost.
Cindy Crawford, yes, thank you.
Have you seen? Okay, so have you seen pictures of Cindy Crawford's daughter? It was almost a dead look.
They look. Yeah, I know. It's just like Dead Ringer, right? It's like one of those. Like, wow, I remember these posters. But anyway, all right. Wow, that's all right. Wait, is B. Arthur on your smash list, Culture? Well, back in the day.
if she was now, that would be an even bigger problem.
Brooke Shields, thank you very much, Dempsey. Yeah. I think Sigourney Weaver, thank you, B. Baker.
I mean
there's a list.
Jennifer Connelly.
Oh man, in Top Gun Maverick, I was like, still. I mean, now Kelly McGillis not so much, but Jennifer Connelly. There you go.
Well, Jennifer Connelly has never not looked good.
It is what it is. It look. I mean, I'm sorry. Age has always been a number for me. I
think the older the better.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you're going to be 60 tomorrow. 70,
I'm going to be 60 in an hour and 2 minutes from now.
Oh, okay. Oh, guys, can we say? Can we say? Bat Tom's not here, so we can't do Bat Tom can't do the kid's birthday thing for you. So, who do you want to sing "Happy Birthday" to you on the stream? Because only one person can. Because I'm
Salma
not going to.
Hayek was mentioned; she could do it.
Let me call her.
On this stream right now, it'd have to be CC because he is the only one that can sing. Actually, Culture, you've got a good voice. That's true.
All right. Well, I tell you what, you're gonna get one of my favorite singers to sing you "Happy Birthday." CC karaoke.
All right.
Do it do it death metal style.
Oh no! If I do that, you're all going to be shredded by
in the style of Rob Zombie.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear not a Canadian 70s rock fan. From somewhere in Ireland or Scotland or somewhere in that other part of the world.
Wales.
No, not Wales, but thank you, CC. Beautiful. I am in Canada, though. So.
You have a quality natural voice, my friend. That's rare.
Beautiful voice. Beautiful voice.
Rare. All right. Well, I've had less fun than this. But I've had more fun this time.
Yeah, that sounded like something you butchered.
That sounded like an insult.
Wait, Tom's back. He says, you guys are still going? Yeah, we were looking for Bat Tom, but he didn't show up to sing 70s birthday song. So
Culture's got $20 for you.
I do,
Next
actually.
division, we keep
Lady
going.
Hombre.
Well, thank you, everybody in the chat. Appreciate it very much.
Yeah, they're loving you.
Thank you, guys. It's,
okay. Anybody have any final thoughts on where we're headed as we go towards Creed 3 next weekend, or on the 3rd, as we wrap up this weekend with Ant-Man versus the Bear?
I think, and I honestly do believe this, I think if Creed 3 bombs with all of the hype that went into Jonathan Majors essentially over this whole last few months, I think Disney is going to have another massive panic over the next couple of years of their direction. Because if he has, like I said, 3 major bombs in a row, I mean, that's kind of too much to overlook at that point. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how that film does. Not to mention it's directed by Michael B. Jordan without Stallone's involvement whatsoever, which is just an odd decision in and of itself. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong with that movie.
Against Stallone's wishes.
Yeah, especially with Stallone coming out and saying this is not anything having to do with me and denounced it. That's not going to help him either.
Yep.
I think there are periods throughout history, like 1963 when the Beatles arrived, to 1970, and 1970 to 1975, in 1976 to like 82, 83, and we're exiting the previous era right now. It's already happened. These movies, they've been in production for a couple of years, so we're still going to see stuff, but people are over it and moving on to the next idea. We're already there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, and here's the argument I'll have with everybody all day long, which is we're in the new era, and YouTube and these types of streams and you kinds of creators and you in the audience, all of you out there, we're the new age, guys. We got here early. Everybody else is slow. And congratulations on being here. And as far as Dungeons and Dragons goes, it's gonna be it'll be okay. It's a Hasbro film coming out of E1. They're trying to sell off themselves, so it's hard to say.
It looks fun.
It does. Yeah.
The game itself is not going to be okay after all of the crap that
that's broken.
But the movie's going to be. I think the movie's going to be fine.
I'm looking forward to Baldur's Gate 3.
And that's March 31st. I have Baldur's Gate 3 on my computer. But no, I look at it like I look like it'll be okay. I don't think it's going to be good. Some of the CGI is a little in the trailer. I didn't like some of the humor or the dialogue. I thought the dialogue was too modern day for Dungeons and Dragons. But that's the same problem I had with Cocaine Bear. There were moments where I'm like, whoa, that's not 80s. The flip was that? I'm like swatting away some bad lines. But it's overall. I feel like that in a lot of movies now.
What if the modern dialogue is indicative of the fact that we get a wraparound or a reveal at the end?
Reach around?
The whole movie has been these people sitting around a table actually playing out a campaign.
Well, that'd be different, but so when you look, any role player worth their salt that I've ever played a game with, they try to like adopt the vernacular that would be somewhat appropriate for the what they're doing. Any quality LARPer or any cosplayer, they're gonna dive into that character. So I mean, I understand. I mean, even like recent films like the new Jumanji stuff that came out, the two films with the Rock and all them, right? They even tried to keep it like within the same thing. I mean, they even used one of the Jonas Brothers, and he was radical, or he's using like terms that would have been appropriate for when he was supposedly lost in the game. So I mean, I don't know. I always have a hard time with those things.
And Karen Gillan didn't look like a boy in those.
Yeah, look, she actually admitted that was a bad choice for that poster. So let's not give her too hard a time.
Well, she said the pose was a bad choice.
Okay, I know she did. Look, art direction's hard, right? Yeah. I mean, look at like the demon inspired Balenciaga stuff, right? Anyway,
at least she recognizes a mistake.
Look,
just give her credit there. She recognized the mistake. That's better than almost the rest of Hollywood, who will never admit to being wrong.
I know this. The Gilk man, Thomas Gilkey, is out there in the world. $4.99. My friend, he says, "Hail, much love to all you on the panel. When is Sunday Culture Review coming back? Hopefully next Sunday, dude. I'm rebranding it. I'm trying to change it into an interview show, and we're gonna have a nice larger YouTube person to interview. I'm gonna try to bring on some bigger cultural influences in our sphere for that show. So it's coming back, brother. I want my news and different opinions. I do too, and that's why I like this show. I bring on a lot of crazy in this particular show, and of course I have you here, Thomas, and all the other great people in the chat that keep everything fresh. We got another member chat here. It's from my good friend Toxic Man Flu, who's been here for 19 months. He is a high roller, which means he spends money on me, which I like. Thank you. He says it's a weave. What specifically is a weave, Tox? Just wondering.
Everything except for your eyebrows.
The American.
There's something very wrong with all you guys. All right. Okay. So seriously, final thoughts.
You got it.
Final thoughts on this weekend and next weekend before we try to roll out of here. Go. You're first, Jason.
I don't have any thoughts on the weekend except it's my birthday on Friday.
Oh shoot. Okay, all right. Well, we
nice.
got to sing birthday to you then. Okay, and Tim Hayes says, "Hail Culture Casino, hail to you." That's a member chat. Appreciate it. Nick, thoughts, ideas, memories.
The Cocaine Bear, people seem to like it. That's cool, I guess. So if people enjoy it, go see it again. Go support original movies.
Good choice. Good choice. Speaking of original movies, check out Gordon, a Batman fan film. I had the creators of that film and the production company. I did an interview. It's an hour-long video on my channel. Check it out. I suggest that people like Sci-Fi for Me TV and others get an opportunity to actually spend time with Patrick Logan and Creative Force Films. They do great work. Barama.
Yeah, I'm still probably not going to go see Cocaine Bear, but
No.
I did see the season finale of 1923, and that whole season has been fantastic. So go check that out because that season is now complete as of today.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yep.
And I want to say thanks to everybody who sent a super chat, Nick Nero, and everybody else involved in that, Eric K, and anybody who's still here who did that, including Thomas Gilkey, who just did one. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you. Society Reviews. What's up, Jacob? Anything you thoughts on the weekend?
No, not really. Yeah, I think we've covered it. So no thoughts.
Okay, well, I'm disappointed. Disappointed. Jacob has a lot of thoughts.
Talking. Well, now that you mention it, yeah, no, I mean, look, Jesus Revolution, good movie.
Oh, you saw
Cocaine
it?
Bear, yeah, did see it.
Oh, it's good film.
Yeah, very good.
Oh, wow.
I definitely like it. Kelsey Grammer, definitely one of his better roles. So yeah, go see that one if you haven't seen it. That one actually did pretty well for its budget too. So check that one out. Cocaine Bear, it's kind of disappointing to me. Nothing really as far as that one goes. And then Ant-Man. I mean, hey, look at it this way. If Ant-Man ends up losing $200 million at the box office, then I think Disney is still in a great position to spend $10 billion on a WWE. So there you go. That's my thoughts.
Cool. Well, thank you for that. Boosh McFadden sends his member chat and says, "Hail, Society Reviews, CC, Brahmable." Jay? Who's Jay?
That's me. That's me.
Oh, Jay. Okay. Other CC, yes, the better CC. And happy birthday 70s. So there you go. Thank you, Boosh McFadden.
Skip Nick.
Cheers, Bush. Good lad.
Who did I skip?
You skipped
Nick was 32.
Nick
I
was
saw
32.
him. Oh, hi, 32. I don't know. I didn't do it on purpose. Toxic Man Flew for $5 says, Thomas Talented just figured out how to shaft culture during J-Laws.
It's quite easy. Take his trousers down and bend them over.
I feel
shaft.
Okay, so this is a special we're working on, and apparently I'm going to get the short end
Oh,
of the
it's
shrift
special,
again.
right?
That shaft will be
Special
working.
shaft.
Hashtag I love Tom. I'm worried about what's going to happen to me. I get so disrespected. I mean, it's my lot in life.
Yep.
Hashtag special shaft.
Okay,
we're
well,
gonna get that trending.
Look. CC's up next, and then we're gonna do. Wait, and we're not done. You guys think that this is the end of the show? It's not. So those of you that left, you're gonna be sorry. Go ahead, CC.
We're living in a time where there's 100 lifetimes worth of stuff to do and only one lifetime to live it. And I feel that every day is like there's just not enough time in the day for everything. I'm thrilled to spend the time here. That was worth it.
Thank you.
But just for everything we've got, all the TV shows to watch, the games to play, the books to read. I'm starting a Marvel Comics read I got from 1962 to 1964, and I'm like, how am I ever going to get to like the 1990s, So there's an embarrassment of riches, and I feel like maybe with Ant-Man, telling people it's the new phase is a natural jumping off point for the normies. Like I'll slight aside here, but my dad's favorite character in Mando is Gina Carano, right? Cara Dune. He's a complete normie. He doesn't even know that she was fired yet.
Oh no!
And I think And I think that probably speaks for a lot of people who just have no idea because they're just waiting for the next season. And they're like, where's Gina Carano?
Well, it's the same people who also said, hey, how come Mando and Grogu are back together? They didn't watch Boba Fett.
Exactly, right?
Well, and I heard, I don't remember, it might have been Doomcock talking about Favreau's new plan. Apparently, Rangers of the New Republic is back on the development list.
Without her, I really don't want to get into the story right now. Okay, we'll do that next Sunday. Okay, next Sunday we'll definitely talk about that because there's some weird in the background stuff there. Yeah. But speaking of weird in the background stuff, there somebody who knows how to push sheep over a fence without using his hands.
What a waste of a good sheep! Why would I waste a good sheep like that? You know what they call a flock of sheep in Scotland? It's a playground.
Wow.
Anyway, it's a leisure park. Despite the black pilling, I don't know about this weekend, but just because I haven't had time to watch a lot of stuff, but despite the black pilling earlier, I actually think we might be seeing an upturn because there's been a few good movies already this year, and there's a few good ones yet to come. I mean, we've got John Wick 4. We've got 2 great Afghanistan-based movies, The Point Men, which is a Korean movie, which I'm really looking forward to, and then The Covenant, Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, coming out soon. These are all great movies, and there's many, many more. I've got a list of things to look forward to in the year, and I think we're seeing a bit of an upturn. I have been watching 2 great shows recently. One is a Korean show called Big Bet, and it's absolutely fantastic. Set in the Philippines, and legal casinos, but illegal stuff going on in the background. Really great show. Funnily enough, it's on Hulu, I think, in the US, but it's a Disney Plus show in Asia. So who knew? And they actually make good shit out there, and they don't make it for us here. But never mind. So anyway, Big Bet, really good show. And another one is a show called Three Body, which is a Chinese TV adaptation of the science fiction novel of the same name, Three Body, which is a Chinese author. So it's actually pretty good. Be talking about that one in Pop Culture Minefield Tuesday morning. Jason might be joining me, I hope so.
Yep.
And then tomorrow I've got my big birthday show. That I'm looking forward to.
Huge.
It will be huge.
Okay. Well, apparently we have one more guest joining. Wait, it's Tom. Tom.
Oh, hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Welcome,
Thomas.
Oh wait, Bad Tom. Okay, here we go.
Oh, you get a birthday from Bad Tom.
Oh, bless.
Oh.
I've been summoned.
Thank you. You're deep in your bad cave right now.
What?
Battle.
All right. Let's get this out of the way. Kid, what I do for you right now, not everybody gets, okay? So just remember this as a privilege. You can tell your grandkids about it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, insert kid name here. Happy birthday to you.
I have a tear in my eye, Bad Tom.
And that is all she wrote. No, seriously, like that's all she wrote on the card. There's nothing left.
I feel all warm and wet.
I don't know if there's any more happy birthdays or more.
Well, Jason's having a birthday soon.
I ran into a lady. I'm like, could you write down the lyrics to happy birthday for me?
You ran into her with a Batmobile?
No, that was somebody else. There's still litigation on that.
After it lost its wheel.
That is a myth, sir.
I think the Joker got away.
Record straight. The Joker did not get away. I chose to let him go so we could fight another day.
So did you watch Robin lay an egg?
No, I was just going to say,
lay an egg. He's a kid.
Okay. Are you on the hook for child support?
He's not my kid. He's an orphan.
How do you know?
So he's not a real kid.
But wait, I feel like Bat Tom, like fixed all of this in like a recent Christmas special.
There was a Christmas special, yes.
That's right. Yeah.
And I sang the song properly.
You did.
Lounge singer style.
The Joker did not get away. I punched him. And he ran like a little bitch.
I can't help but get the feeling that Tom's doing some weird impression of Clint Eastwood as well. It's something weird about it.
Look, all I know is that all of this was cleared up. I felt like we had probably the best version of Jingle Bells I've ever heard. So thank you, Bat Tom. Your efforts are appreciated.
I for one feel my age now after that. Thank you, Bat Tom.
And you look it.
How old are you? Like 70? You're 70s rock fan.
70.
You look pretty damn good for 70, man. I'm just gonna say.
Any day after 60 is old, so what does it matter? It's all the same.
He looks pretty good. Look at him.
17.
Tomorrow.
You're only as old as the woman you feel.
You got another 1-2 years tops left in you, I'm saying.
You're only as old as the woman you feel, Tom. That Tom.
Well, there's still litigation on that too. And with that, I must leave you all now.
All right. Well, thank you, Bat Tom.
Thank you, Bat Tom. I appreciate it very much.
Happy birthday.
See you tomorrow morning. Oh, I'm so blessed. All right, everybody. We're going to wrap up, but that doesn't mean we're going away. It means that we're having credits. But credits don't mean the end, because sometimes dumb stuff happens. You might see Gary again. I don't know. It could happen.
Never going to give you up. Never going to let you down. Never going to run around. And first, you never going to make you cry. Never going to say goodbye. Never going to tell a lie.
See, I wasn't lying. Oh wait, could be more. Wait, there is more. I have a thing. Oh, wait, here it is. This one.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show.
While I pick my nose.
So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things. Realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up. Let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take
Get ready to do this for the next 11 minutes, because culture won't quit until it's an even time.
Oh God, adrenaline wasted.
Culture stole that chick bite.
Because he's OCD.
OCD stands for old crotchety dick. To make you go take it back. I lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go
Ego.
real bad.
That's rude.
And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back.
Culture, this is still really loud.
And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I don't fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you. Choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty. Oh God, adrenaline wasted. So mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll put it on your face to make you go take it back.
Well, that was a thing, I guess.
Oh, we're on the screen. Holy shit, I was jerking off. I'm sorry. I was on a totally... I heard your voice. I'm like, there's another guy in this porno that I don't see. Where is he? Oh, that sounds like Jason. Jason's in a porno?
Right? I have
Lo
been
and
in, I have been in
behold.
I have been in stranger circumstances, but I won't tell those stories anymore.
Oh, hang on. Sorry. Okay.
Oh, hi, Brahma.
Hey, Nick. How's it going?
Oh, I feel like I could go all night.
Yeah, after watching that video, definitely. I'm
we
getting the
slid
feeling
in
that
nice-
Culture is the only one who actually likes that.
I feel like we slid in really nicely. It's like we let Jason Tom slip in, and they slipped out, and now we get to face dive in together. What's gonna happen when we have to pull out, though?
It's going to be messy.
Oh, you know what?
I know what Nick's nuts are capable of.
You do,
And I know
you
about
That's
Brahma's
why.
bull's
That's
milk.
why for when our powers combine. Not only are we Captain Planet, but we are a double cream donut.
True.
It's
Cream
true.
pie donut.
Long John. It's gotta be a Long John.
Matt Mardigan. My name is Matt, and I'm here to say it is because of my happiness you think I am gay. I make good rhymes and I have funny jokes. I have no rival, and that is no glow. People keep trying to be like me for their popularity, but you can never achieve what comes to me so easily. I'm so far over your head, you are more lost than if you were in Wonderland. There's no advice given, Caterpillar. Step this and I'll sell you a killer. We Matt Mardigan. You can't get to me, you are and that smart again. We gonna light this up like we Matt Mardigan. Scared the shit out of you, gonna make you short again. Harp on the start from the part, stab you in the heart again. Them days are not raw, I have come too far. Stinging in the edge like last month's enema. Saying a word with a hard on from inside your car. Acting hard like it's hard recast as a star. I lay awake and remember back to then. Time so tough, would never ever end. Hard to be a loner when you got no friends. With a life not even worth to defend. We gonna light this up like we Matt Mardigan. Like we Matt Mardigan. Matt Mardigan. Rewind. Let's go back to start again. This retard did a fart on a part of the den.
Hey there, CC. How's it going?
I'm getting the Mad Mardigan had an enema.
Yeah.
A real heavy fart that just turned wrong.
Like bloody poops, or like what are we talking about here?
Could be. I
Yeah,
mean,
you should probably get that checked out. Hey, Culture, can you play the other Eminem one, like the real Slim Shady outro? That way better than the one you just played, because who cares about Mags, right?
that would be better.
Yeah. Far.
Pretty sure this isn't the real Shim.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
Why, hello there, random citizen.
Oh, hey there, little buddy. How's it going?
Have you subscribed to CultureCasino yet?
Well,
No, I. Friggin' A.
Oh!
These guys, I tell ya.
Oh!
Dang it, I missed. Why won't these guys just subscribe already?
That hurt.
Oh, wow. You guys are still here. Hi. Yeah, there's a lot of buttons back here. I'm trying to figure out how to shut down the stream. You guys can check out Comics Division tomorrow. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Oh, and I have the 6-minute daily tomorrow. If you didn't watch today's video, check that out. I gotta find the right button. Hey, Tom. What did you think about tonight's show? That doesn't...
Thought the
Tom?
part where you had sex with Brahma was a little over the line, but...
No. We didn't do that on screen.
Well, it still
Hey,
scarred me for life.
I know. Hey, did you find that script?
No, I'm still looking. Looking.
I mean, I'm doing a lot of stuff, like, to get ready for that. I hired a vocal coach and an acting teacher and stuff.
I don't know why you went to that extent.
Well, no, because you said you wanted this to be a real thing. Like, you wanted to be.
It is going to be a real thing. We just have to find this.
Gotta be.
I want a
gotta
PDF
be,
of the script, which is proving to be very difficult.
I'm gonna be. I like The Odd Couple. It's one of my favorite things, and I think between.
So are we
the play
actually
and
officially announcing this right here, right now?
No. Oh God, no! Why would we do that?
Because we're still live.
I hit the button. I didn't hit the button.
You didn't hit the button.
Neighbors bothering you with their loud music?
You know Wolf's in there.
Your boss or coworker harassing you?
Wait, what? Who said that?
Maybe you have a roommate who cries in their sleep. Bully Mays here with a solution that proves every problem has a mortality rate. Introducing Shank Crate, your all-in-one monthly subscription box that can take care of those in-your-face issues. Each box contains new and unique materials for you to build your very own custom shank.
Oh my gosh.
And for your protection, the contents of each box are totally secret until you receive it. And not only does it create solutions, it also serves as a creative outlet, like an adult form of Lego.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That is a literal knife's edge.
Maybe you, like some of our other customers, have questions.
Can I bring it to school?
Who's ever heard of a pencil not being allowed at school?
Can you store it in a pocket?
Absolutely.
What if you don't, have any pockets?
Your discretion. Whether you're conscientious about the Earth or just not opposed to being a good steward of the environment, each Shank Crate and its contents are made of 100% recycled materials to make sure we're environmentally friendly. And if you order now, we'll be extra sensitive to the environment and keep all the original fingerprints on the items for your convenience. All for the low cost of $19.99 a month. Call 626-831-9333 to get your Shank Crates today. If you call now and secure your monthly subscription for only $19.99, you'll get your very own alibi insurance for those slightly stickier situations. But wait again, there's even more. To be inclusive, culturally respectful, and as patriotic as possible, each monthly box is themed after a unique prison in the US of A. So call 626-831-9333 now to get your very own unique, patriotic, and environmentally friendly Shank Crate with your own personal alibi insurance.